Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Navneet. I think
Yes, sir.
71 people have joined. We'll wait for five
Yes.
minutes.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Bye.
Alok Modi, sir, we'll wait for 5 minutes.
Yeah, we can wait. No issues.
Okay, sir. So we'll start.
If it's
Hello. Rajeev sir, Prashant sir, we'll start.
we can you just wait for 2 minutes? I'll call you back.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think we can start.
Okay, great. So good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you all to AMC's Artificial Intelligence, that is AI workshop. This is second in line, and this is a very well planned program by Dr. Alok Modi. I would request everyone to mute themselves. Thank you. I would request our Honorary Secretary, Dr. Prashant Kerkar, to say a few words. Dr. Prashant Kerkar is surgical oncologist, par excellence with special interest in hepatopancreatobiliary and gastrointestinal surgeries. He has trained himself in some of the best institutes in the world and has been offering his services in this field over the past 2 decades. He is one of the very few who has over the years mastered these surgeries with minimal invasive techniques, that is laparoscopic and robotic, to give exceptional results with minimal morbidity. He now uses all his experience with younger surgeons to continue his legacy. He has been an invited faculty and course director for many national and international conferences in the field of oncology. He is also secretary of the Association of Medical Consultants, which is a body of 15,000 and more consultants of specialists in the city of Mumbai, through which he extends a helping hand to his colleagues. He also does his philanthropic activities as the chief trustee of the Shantabai Kerkar Charitable Trust and Dr. Balwant Kerkar Pratishthan. Over to you, sir.
So thank you, Navneet, for that kind introduction, and welcome to all for this second in the series of our talks on artificial intelligence and mobile. So as a part of AMC, Dr. Rajeev Agarwal, who's our president, me, the secretary, Navneet, who's our program committee chairman, chairperson, and Dr. Alok Modi, who's the convener for this program, we have been extensively thinking and trying to cover all the various aspects which as a doctor we would be facing, whether it's continued CMEs, holding CMEs, whether it's taking care of your financial aspects. And of course, currently we cannot neglect the field of AI, which is rapidly advancing in medical practice. So here our focus will be on talks which deal with day-to-day lives, such as Dr. Bharat Saboo would be talking on ChatGPT and Gemini. Then Dr. Neeraj Bijlani will be trying to make you more aware of what is the best use of how to use our credit cards. And Dr. Alok Modi himself will be talking on how do we back up our photos, our SMSs, WhatsApp, whether it's changing our phones or whether it's resetting them. So I hope all these various topics really are admired by all our delegates, and it really causes a difference when by the end of this seminar. So over to Navneet to take it further, please. Thank you very much, and I hope everybody enjoys this program.
Thank you, sir. Next in line is Dr. Rajeev Agarwal. He is president of AMC, and he's going to give a general introduction to the whole thing. Dr. Rajeev Agarwal, sir, is Medical Director, Sri Kasturi Medicare Private Limited and Kasturi Care for Seniors. He is President of Kasturi Medical Foundation and President of Association of Medical Consultants, Mumbai. He has been the Honorary Treasurer of IMA HQ HBI in 22-24, past Treasurer of IMA Maharashtra State from year 20 to 23, past President of IMA Mira Bhinder, recipient of the Corona Veer Award from the State Governor, IMA National President's Appreciation Award he has received 5 times, and he has received 7 times IMA State President's Appreciation Award. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Clearly audible. Yeah.
Yes.
So once again, let me thank Dr. Alok Modi and Dr. Navneet for conducting this artificial intelligence workshop. This is the second of its kind, and we'll be having it every month. And the only aim of organizing this AI workshops is, these days we doctors are not very tech savvy, and tech is needed for our practice. And that is the reason why slowly and steadily, we will be going to deeper versions or, advanced versions of this AI talks, so that, from basics to the advanced thing, you'll be able to learn. So I am really thankful to Dr. Alok, who has such a busy schedule. Morning he is in Delhi, evening he'll be in Calcutta, next day he'll be somewhere in Bangalore, and then back to Mumbai, and he has taken up this responsibility and is doing it fantastically, and all the topics today, as Dr. Prashant also told, are very interesting. Let me not waste time, and let me enlighten you about one policy which AMC has launched for its members. Basically, this is an exclusive umbrella policy for the hospital owners and for the doctors, which, as an association, in this year, as in my presidential year, with the help of Dr. Prashant and others, we have launched this AMC umbrella policy for hospitals exclusively. It is for multiplying risk management efficiency. Our value proposition, in next 10 minutes, we'll go through it. So you all know about my credentials. This is in short about me. I am practicing pediatrician, practicing in Mira Bhainder for the last 26 years. And I'm also a medical legal expert. I've done PG diploma in medical legal science. Currently the president of Association of Medical Consultant Mumbai. Now, value proposition, what we as AMC has proposed to all its members, we will just go through it. So basically, what is the approach of AMC? It was the policy and the process. We need to strengthen the existing, because as of now, let me put it on record, not a single not a single association has been able to give this umbrella policy to its member. So as AMC, this is unique. This is one of its kind, and this is the cheapest. I can bet on it, And here the claims as a specialized service through AMC and through our broker, and the advantage of technology, which you all will be seeing. So how does the program work? AMC will have the master policy holder. The coverage will be associated hospitals, diagnostic centers and labs, nursing homes, daycare centers, etc. The type of coverage will be, it's a business package policy, including various sections. We will go through the sections in the coming slides. It is voluntary. If you want to enroll, you can enroll. If you don't want, that's your wish. It is valid for 1 year from the day you enroll. You pay the premium to AMC, and within 48 to 72 hours, AMC will pay the premium on your behalf to Oriental Insurance Company, and then in the next 3 days, Oriental Insurance Company will issue a policy which will be routed through AMC, and you will get the policy in your name. The master policy will be in the name of AMC, and you will be as a sub unit. So the premium flow, I've already told. The proof for individual policy for each member, you will get it with your name and all the details you want. And yes, you can renew it every year. So that is the best part of it. What all things are covered? Fire and elite perils. What do you mean by fire? You all know fire in the hospital due to short circuit or anything, but earthquake, your floods, natural disasters, all this is covered. Burglary, including theft, so someone, comes to your hospital, your cash counter is open, they cheat you and they take away the money, or, they take away some important belongings, money, that is burglary. Business interruption is the interruption in the business because of fire, because of floods, because of violence in your hospital. You're like, you see, since last 3 days, Chiploon is underwater. Now the machines will be damaged, so maybe the hospitals will be shut down for 15 days, 1 month, so there, that is a business interruption. It may not be of much use to people in Mumbai, but definitely where low-lying areas where there is flooding, there is this is useful. Machinery breakdown is your breakdown of the machinery. Whenever you are using it suddenly because of high voltage, your IC gets down and your machinery breakdowns. You have to have a maintenance contract, or the machine should be well maintained, and after that, if there is a cost for repairing, it will cover that. Electronic equipment, similarly, because of high voltage or because of accidental damage, you are using it, suddenly it falls from your hand and it breaks, and it is of no use, then that is covered. Public liability. What do you mean by public liability? You are in the hospital. Now the patient's relatives is walking in the hospital because of rains. It is a wet flooring. The person slips, breaks his head, breaks his hand, breaks his leg. The liability arising out of that is public liability. Patient is on bed, patient slips from the bed. आपने वो bed के आगे उसको railing नहीं लगाया है, and the patient slips and falls from the bed. That is public liability. Your patient is in the lift falls. That is public liability. Money insurance. This is insurance of your money transit to the bank or transit to your house. You want to deposit cash in your account in the bank. Your staff is going and taking it. Someone cheats or robs him on the way from the hospital to the bank, or in the evening or in the afternoon, you are going home, you are carrying cash collected from the hospital, you're going home, someone cheats you and robs you. That is covered, provided you have to have a valid money proof for that. Fidelity cover. Fidelity is, the wrongdoings by your staff. Now your staff cheats you. I have an accountant, say, and this accountant, transfers money from my account to her account or to someone else's account. The staff takes the money from the patient and does not deposit it in the hospital, and the staff runs away. So that is called as fidelity cover. Plate glass cover is the glasses in your hospital, wherever it is put, that is insured. Neon is your outside name plate, what you are doing, that is insured. Directors and officers liability. What does this mean? As a director of the company, you take some decisions which may go against the staff, or the staff may not like it. The staff may feel that it is you're trying to discriminate the staff because of caste, or because of her gender. So if she files a case against you, it could go in the court of law. So there you will be covered for the defense cost as well as compensation. And workman compensation covers means the worker is coming to the hospital or going to from the hospital to the house. That time, if he or she meets with an accident, that time, if there is a permanent damage, then that risk is covered up to 1 lakh rupees. Or if there is some accident which requires treatment, so they will have a mediclaim insurance of 1 lakh rupees. They take that treatment, and up to 1 lakh rupees they will be compensated. So this is the workman compensation. So how does the policy flow? You have to go to the online portal. You have to put your hospital name. Then you'll have to put all the sum insured you want. Whatever I have told, minimum 5 aspects you have to take. We'll discuss the premium also in the coming slides, and I'll tell you, if you do not want other things, what you can choose. You have to give a proof of all your equipments, what you're having, because today, even if you give it without the proof, the insurance company will accept. But unfortunately, tomorrow, if you land up with a claim, that time, this is important. So that's why a fixed asset register, list of equipment, machineries with the serial number, with the company's make, model, which year it was purchased, and the bills are very important. And once you upload it, the premium will automatically calculated. You will of course receive help from our AMC agents also, and from Prudent Insurance Company. You pay the premium to AMC. AMC will check the premium. Once we get the premium, immediately we'll pay it. And once the insurer companies receive it, they will issue a policy, and the broker as well as the association will receive the policy and will pass on this policy to you, so that you are insured. So this is in short about the process. So here are the master policies in AMC. Why we have chosen AMC as the master policy, I'll tell you. AMC is already dealing with Oriental Insurance Company. We are almost playing Oriental Insurance Company to the tune of almost 18 to 20 crore rupees from our health insurance as well as professional indemnity. So that is the first reason why we have chosen Oriental. Of course, Oriental Insurance Company has given us the lowest premium also. We have squeezed them there also. So suppose, unfortunately, if you take an individual policy, tomorrow Dr. Rajeev Agarwal takes a policy for his hospital, he pays a premium of 2 lakh rupees. But at the end of the day, there is a claim in the hospital and I have to claim for 5 lakh rupees. Now, if this happens in the second year, insurance company may not give Dr. Rajeev Agarwal the renewal for the third year. But when it is a group insurance, there the law of average takes place. So if 200 hospitals are insured or 500 hospitals are insured and only 20 hospitals or 30 hospitals claim, so indirectly everyone will be able to renew it, and we have a contract with them for at least minimum 3 years as of now. So we have finalized the premium, we have signed the MOU, and now the policies have also been started issuing. You need not issue the policy immediately. If you already have an existing fire policy, so whenever your fire policy is expiring, that time, about 15 days back, or for 20 days back, you approach us. We will go make you go through the process. It may take 3 to 5 days because you have to handle all your papers, and then you can insure yourself. Who call insure? All hospitals, daycare centers, clinics, individual stand-alone clinics, radiological centers, pathology lab, everything. But there is a catch here. You can insure any one equipment for your maintenance policy not beyond 25 lakhs. So CT scans, MRIs will not be able to be insured, the higher end machines, because this policy was earlier also launched by AMC, but unfortunately because of very high claim ratio, the insurance company shut it down, stopped issuing policies within first year only because of claims from CT scan and MRI center. So that is the reason why any one equipment which we are using should be less than 25 lakh rupees. You can insure up to 10 crore rupees, but cost of each equipment should not be more than 25 lakh rupees. Prudent is our broker. They will help us in end-to-end claim management as well as awareness. Advisory board, they will appoint surveyor for us, and if there is a dispute, they will resolve it. Insurance company, that is, we have already told, Oriental Insurance Company, they will issue the policy, they will settle the claim, and they will do the review of the performance. And over the year, if we feel that our claim ratio is less, then the premium may again go down. So why you should buy through the association? Because it has been thoughtfully customized coverage. We have analyzed everything, and we are giving you the best cost effective avail advantage of heavily negotiated premium. You will come to know that. Claim assistance from AMC and Prudent, ongoing support and review till the end of the policy, and risk management. We will educate you on how to cut down your losses, and also for the effective maintenance of your equipment. So the claim administration, once there is a claim, you'll have to lodge it online. You have to inform AMC, you have to inform Prudent Insurance Company. They will help you go through the process. They will appoint an surveyor. We have already shortlisted 6 good surveyors who are doing survey for big industries, so that their survey will be proper, they are professional, and you don't have to pay anything under the table, as it happens most of the time in this survey. So there AMC will stand rock solid by you, as well as Prudent Insurance Company, who are brokers. They are a very big broking company. They have 65 plus claim professionals. They handle 1,75,000 plus claims annually, and the claim payment outgoing is around 1,600 crores what they are handling. So we have selected a professional broker also for that. The claim process, as I've already told, hospital to contact dedicated line in case of this. A survey will be appointed, and then accordingly you'll have to submit the documents. Survey will come, do that. And the best part is, if you feel genuinely that the surveyor is not up to the mark, he has not given you the right survey, and he has not the payment what you should receive is not proper, it has to be justifiable. You approach us. We will investigate it through our broker and ourselves. And if we find, yes, the surveyor has not done his duty well, we are in a position to change the surveyor, reappoint a surveyor, get your survey done again, and then you can claim again, and you don't have to pay a single penny for this survey. This is the best part, which is not available for an individual policy. And once the survey is okay, immediately you will get the money. So this is the escalation matrix. This is not of much importance, of various levels. Then the commercials, most important part, Now everywhere the fire insurance and the earthquake, everything, the cost is 0.15 per 1,000. This is percentage. You must see after percentage I have written a 0. So that is per 1,000. So, and if it is more than 5 crore, it is 0.4 per 1,000. Whereas the retail rates, if you go online and you check the retail rates, instead of 0.15, 0.55 per 1,000, and for above 5 crores, it is 0.9. So first premium, you can see how much is the discount. Terrorism, they have kept the premium same. It is 0.13 per 1,000. Here also it is 0.13. But now you go lower down, you will see the drastic difference. Burglary, it is 0.008 per 1,000. Whereas the actual rate, approximately, it varies from company to company. Some may be charging 0.5, some may be 0.1, but the highest rate is 1%. Machinery breakdown is 0.16, highest rate is 1%. Electronic equipment, we are giving it 0.18, highest rate is 1%. All risk portable policy. Portable means you can insure a mobile phones, you can insure a laptops. These things are also covered. Desktops, these are because they are portable. 0.09, and the actual insurance is 1%. Money insurance, what we told, that is 0.04. Fidelity is 0.01. All these are 1% in the actual retail policy. Your neon sign is 0.1, glass insurance is 1, public liability 0.1, director's liability 0.5, whereas the actual rates outside is 1.5. And workman compensation, we will be paying 600 rupees per worker, which includes your 1 lakh rupees of disability claim and 1 lakh rupees of insurance for getting the treatment, whereas the actual retail rate is 3,400. So if you analyze all this, the effective premium will be 42,630 for a 5 crore policy, and 81,670 for a 10 crore policy excluding GST, whereas the same premium in a retail policy could go anywhere from 2 lakh rupees to 2,80,900, and for a 10 crore policy 3,99,900 excluding GST. So rates are the average market rates, and they are subject to rate what are the retail rates written, but the AMC negotiated rates, these are final. So just to show an illustration of a person who's taking a sum insured of 5 crore rupees for his hospital, the fire 5 crore rupees 0.15, so the premium is 7,500, whereas if you had taken a retail policy, you see the amount you would have paid. So machinery breakdown for 5 crores, you see what you are paying, 8,000 rupees. Those who have already insured a machinery, I'm sure this rate is never applicable. Had you taken this in a retail part for only machinery equipment, electronic equipment and portable equipment, that is 1%, So there, you ultimately land up paying almost more than 6 times what you are paying here. Money insurance is there, fidelity. So total, we have also include cyber insurance. Now, what is cyber insurance? There is a cyber fraud. Some money gets siphoned down from your account, or someone does some mischief with you, and that is the reason why your data gets hacked, or there is your data gets leaked and misuse of data is there. So there up to 5 lakh rupees is there. The premium for that is 2,000 rupees. So effectively, if you calculate that, you will come to know that the total premium is 42,670. Fire is mandatory. Besides that, if you have to choose the AMC policy, you have to choose total 5. So if you're choosing fire, I would say you should always choose, machinery breakdown, electronic background, and portable equipment. Beside that, and if you don't want that, then you can choose this, where the premium is 40 rupees, 100 rupees. So effectively, you can choose a money insurance, you can choose a fidelity, neon sign, glass plate, or a public liability, So this total premium will not be 1,000 rupees, So your effectively policy for a 5 crore, if you take, will be, 8,500 plus GST. Whereas the retail rate will be 2,80,900. Yeah. Now, if you take a commercial policy between 5 lakh crores to 50 crores, so this is, I've run through a presentation for 10 crore policy. So you see, if you take a 10 crore with your equipment valuing still at around 5 crore rupees each one, so your premium in our policy comes to 82,000, and with GST 96,000, whereas the retail premium would have come to 4 lakh rupees, and the retail premium with GST would come to 4,70,000. So you can imagine what money you are saying. You are just paying 20% of actual. You see here also 50,000 and 3 lakh rupees. So you are paying approximately 20,000, less than 20,000. And here you are also paying again less than 20,000 rupees for the premium. So cyber insurance, a specialized policy designed to protect your establishment financial losses resulting from cyber attacks and data breaches. It covers the data recovery costs, legal fees, and public relation expenses if you have to spend something, business interruptions and loss of income because of that, and regulatory fines and penalties if they are levied against you. So up to 5 lakh rupees you get the insurance. Some things you have to maintain the asset register so that it is good, but maintaining that is otherwise also important because that helps you in the income tax. And all the details of the machinery you should be having. It should not be you don't have the purchase bill or this, and all the equipments will be covered only up to 10 years of their life. So from the date of purchase, 10 years. Most important thing, you have to insure yourself on the cost price of the machine today. So you must have purchased a sonography machine, say 5 years down the line, it would have cost you 20 lakh rupees, but your depreciated value may be around 5 lakh rupees today after 5 years. So you don't have to get yourself insured for 5 lakh. You have to get yourself insured for 20 lakh rupees only, because आज वो मशीन अगर आपका खराब होता है, टोटल ब्रेकडाउन हो जाता है, लॉस हो जाता है, इंश्योरेंस कंपनी आपको पूरा 20 लाख रुपए देगा. अगर आपने 5 लाख रुपए का इंश्योरेंस किया होगा तो आपको 5 लाख ही मिलने वाला. सो ऑलवेज रिमेंबर, सो टेक द हेल्प ऑफ आवर एजेंट्स, ऑफ आवर brokers. If you don't understand, always use return to invoice value as we do in the car insurance. And whenever you are insuring your premises for fire or other things, you have to consider the cost of the construction or the cost of the interior, and approximately accordingly you have to insure your premises. So I have a standalone building of ground plus 4. It is around 10,000 square foot. So for me, the cost of construction along with interiors will be something around 5,000 rupees minimum per square foot. So what I would insure my building will be for 5 crore rupees. So if you over insure yourself, it is not going to help. But if you under insure yourself, definitely you will get less money. So that is most important. And AMC will always be there with you. These are some of the aspects. Machinery breakdown maintained 10 years, depreciation will be applied. But if you are taking return to invoice, then the repairing cost will be totally given to you with some nominal deduction, but you have to maintain the make, serial number, fidelity, all the employees in the payroll, only if they do some fraud, that will be covered. And glass pet, you will have to have some records of the glass and something. Now, we have partnered with prudent insurance companies, and they are the best in the market right now. And periodicity, content and channel of communication, we will be updating you, will be creating awareness to you about this umbrella policy again and again, through flyers, through talks, through WhatsApp campaigns, and media briefing. So we will get back to you on that. This is a small brochure which we have designed for all the members, for just ready reckoner, for you to understand what this contains. Then this is just a tech-enabled enrollment platform, how you will be able to do, and you will be guided by our agents as well as by prudent insurance company. They have a dedicated team who will guide you. Something about the broker. They are key broker for property, liability, marine, cargo, employee benefits. Number 1 broker for general aviation and trade credit. Largest flexible benefits and trade credit program in India. They are market leaders. Broker of the year for 2021 and 22, and largest claim expertise with 1,75,000 plus claims they handle every year. They have a team of 65 plus people who will help you in the claims, with level 11 lawyers on their board, and they are insuring almost 4,500 corporate clients, covering 6.7 million lives, 12 offices in India. Employee total is around 1,500 employees, having an annual premium collection of 6,000 plus crores. And in our healthcare industry, they are serving Max Healthcare, Batra Hospital, Metro, and all these, they are helping. So that's all from my side, and I'm open to questions if any, or you can post your questions in the chat box, and I can answer them. If you want, I can take 1 or 2 questions.
I think we'll come to questions later, sir.
Sure.
By that time, we'll sort them down in the chat box. I request everyone, if you have any questions on the umbrella policy, otherwise sir has clarified everything, kindly put in the chat box, sir will get back. Continuing with the session further, I would request Dr. Sabh Singh Khambay to kindly take over and introduce our next speaker. Dr. Sabh Singh Khambay is Zonal Director, Navi Mumbai to Raigad.
Dr. Khambay is not able to join because there is some network issue at his place.
Okay.
So, and Dr. Bharat Saboo has been called by the Chief Minister locally for a meeting, so he's not able to join. So Dr. Hirani is the next speaker. So he would be playing the video, the slides of Dr. Bharat Saboo. So I think let us welcome Dr. Hirani. So
okay.
He would be talking, he would be presenting on behalf of Dr. Bharat Saboo. Dr. Bharat Saboo has sent his recorded video, which would be played. So Dr. Hirsch, welcome to the show. I would not introduce you right now. We'll introduce you formally when your time comes. So it's really very nice and sweet of you. In short, he's a very renowned, reputed diabetologist who's certified for artificial intelligence through MIT as well as American Board of Artificial Intelligence. It is an international board certification by the American board, the same exam that even I have also cleared. So it's an honor and pleasure that he's joining us today for his own talk, and he would be doing the honors to take over on behalf of Dr. Bharat Saboo. So Dr. Hirsch, are you there?
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Alok. Thank you,
Thank you
AMC. It
very
will be
much.
a privilege
Pardon me, I
to
won't
be.
introduce you right now. We'll
Yeah.
introduce you formally when your time
Sure,
comes.
sure, sure.
So please
Absolutely
just
fine.
do me
Yeah.
the honor of taking charge of Dr.
Yes.
Bharat.
Yes, yes. So I'll just be sharing the slide. Please notify me as the screen is visible. Yes. Are you able to see the screen?
तुम्हारा फोन उधर ही बेड पे ही है.
Yes. Are you able to see the screen?
No, not yet.
Okay. Now?
Yeah, you're starting it. Yeah.
Okay. Can you just let me
Yeah,
know
we
if you
can
can
see your
hear
screen.
the?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can
Can
see the
you let me
screen.
know if you can hear the voice once?
No, we can't hear the voice. Can you just switch on that voice thing?
Are you able to hear Dr. Bharat's voice?
No, we can't hear it.
Okay. Just give me one moment.
Did I give you the sharing host rights?
I think you will have to give me just.
Yeah, I'll just do that. One second. I'll
Just.
Alok, when you give the sharing rights, also remind at the same moment when the talk is over to give it back to you.
No, 1 second. I don't have the host right. AMC has it. So we'll have to give it from there. Somebody from AMC office has to do it. They are the host. I'm not the host. So Kamlesh has to do it from his end.
No, Kamlesh is not there. Pramila will be. Pramila, if you are there, please do that.
मेरा तो डायरेक्टली हो गया था, मैंने डायरेक्टली शेयर का बटन दबाया था.
Sharing मेरा भी चालू है, but then I think for voice के लिए he needs extra access.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
because I
voice.
was having problem with my voice, on my other laptop, voice was not coming, so I logged in from the other laptop then.
Alok, I have asked to make you the host.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm the host now, so fine. Harsh, I'm giving you the host, right?
Alok,
I've
just to
given it to
inform
you.
you, I will
Yeah,
not be
Harsh.
able to take part in the panel discussion because there is an untimely death of one of the doctors in Mira Bhayandar, and his funeral will be at 4 o'clock, so we will be busy in that funeral. So I will be not I won't be able to take part in the panel discussion.
No problem. We'll manage. Thank you. We carry on. First, I made you the host.
Okay, okay. You are the host. Okay, fine. Yeah.
Okay, your screen share has started, but we are not able to hear Bharat's voice.
Just 1 moment. Is it now audible?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can you
Is
just
it now
start the
audible?
video? No. No. Do one thing. Can you do it yourself? Can you do the show? I don't think this version of Zoom is allowing that. So, Harsh, can I request you? Can you take over and do the needful? One
Sure,
of us
sure,
will
sure.
have to do it. Can you do it instead of me? That would be better.
Okay, fine. So just give me 1 second. I'll turn my screen on as well.
Yeah. Thank you, Harsh, for chipping in at the last moment. So I'll give a formal introduction to Dr. Harsh. Actually, Ajit Desai sir and Guru sir would be doing that.
Okay,
So
I am
Harsh,
there.
pardon us for
Alok,
Guru sir will be doing it.
I am there.
So
I
sir,
am there.
we will request you to introduce him when his time comes. So let's just take his help
Okay,
now,
no
and
problem.
then we will
No
introduce him
problem.
formally when he is giving his
No
official
problem.
talk.
No
So
problem.
Harsh, thank you very much once again.
Everyone? Yes. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Hello.
Generally, all good tech talks have this tech problems every time, and that's a very good sign that we consider it. All nerds consider it a good sign. So there should be some tech problem if it's a high-level conference, including Microsoft and Google. So let's go ahead and start.
Yes. So, am I audible now?
Yeah, you're audible. If you can just start your screen share and start.
Yeah. Done. I'll just go ahead. Perfect. So, firstly, welcome everyone. I think it's a great honor again and privilege to go ahead with this interesting session. So, I'm going to start on talking on something what we call as large language models. It's actually the real dynamite behind the AI boom, what we are experiencing now. So, without any further delay, is my screen rotating? Do you see my screen moving? Yes?
No, we can't see it moving. We
Okay.
can read the
Now?
slide. Yeah, it's moving now.
Okay, perfect. So basically, neural machine translation was one of the first papers close to 10 years back before it started, where this whole entire journey of learning on the large language models began actually. Now, very important to understand here is the large language models are basically the models which are trained on massive data sets of text and code, which are capable of understanding, generating, and translating human language into a way where it can be processed by the artificial intelligence engine. This core capability actually it exhibits such as text generation, translation, summarization, and even the interaction what we make with a chat window on any AI tool, whether you take ChatGPT, whether you take Gemini, any of them. So now, again, it's not just limited to these LLMs. There are also custom AI solutions which exist. So the common ones we take right now, because the most accessible ones are ChatGPT 4 and ChatGPT 3. So if we look at the initial one, which is ChatGPT 4, now recently, last week, it got a major upgrade to ChatGPT 5, but the commonality of the structure of it remains the same. Now, if we look at the basic version of ChatGPT, it has the ability of contextual understanding. It has ability to work out on enhance of complexity of questions, and it also has an additional subscription access which enables more larger time of interaction with the AI system. So on a free version, you'll always see the interaction time is quite less. If we look at ChatGPT 4.0, which is one of the older versions of ChatGPT, now the beauty is all these versions have been clubbed up under a single header of ChatGPT 5. So all these individual functions, what these individual versions of chat interaction systems had, are now part of one single system. So if you look at the current system, what we have, it is more fast and efficient, more multimodal capabilities, as in it does not just understand text-based communication, but even if you upload an image, let's assume, say you are attending a session, you're attending a session in a conference and you feel a graph, a complex biostatistical analysis graph. If you take a picture of it and put it in it, now it also has an ability to process that image and give an actual simplified understanding of that image, which actually talks broader on its image-based understanding of data. Earlier, it used to be limited only on the text processing. Now, if you look at broader accessibility aspect, now the new version of ChatGPT which has come, you would have seen always in the news over the last 2-3 days, a special version of under 500 rupees per month subscription has been accessible to India exclusive with all these functionalities integrated as a one. So LLM friends is not just ChatGPT, but similar bots like ChatGPT, including this one, which have multiple capabilities like this. So if we look at, many times you have heard this word called coding. So coding is a language in which a computer is communicated when we are trying to build new solutions. But as a common user, we are not coders. We are not experienced in any coding language or any computer language. We are not engineers. We are doctors, right? Now the beauty about the current versions of these ChatGPT is it also has the ability to do coding on its own. You delegate a task, you ask it to write a code of it, it will create a code of it, which you can hand over to the technology team if you know anyone, if you're building a solution. If you want you to build your custom solutions, that is also now possible. So basically, you don't need a coder now to create basic level solutions of your healthcare aspects using AI. So that's the other advantage now. Looking at the coding tasks, if you look at the older versions, 4.0 was specifically designed for this. But in the current version, the same 4.0 is integrated with the mainframe. So now we have one single version doing everything for us. And this has improved speed, efficiency, and multimodal interaction capability as well. So looking at choosing of the model now, because we have only two options now, which is ChatGPT. I'll even show a live demo after some time on this. Towards the end, I'll show a small brief demo on this version aspect. So now, for complex and technical support, what we require, the basic version of ChatGPT is good enough. But if you're looking at a more advanced kind of work where you need some level of coding aspect and all, the subscription version is also an option for you. So again, if you look at research and writing, like if you want to use AI, like how Dr. Alok and our team, we have been using it for some very long time, when we are doing for multiple analysis of multiple papers. Like we have built a certain way in which where we feed 20, 30 research papers on the single go, and we ask AI to give us some specific summary or some specific findings from it. For these kind of writing and work, we generally suggest the regular version is good enough to do. But if you want to do more interaction with that data, more detailed interaction, more longer interaction with that data, again, a plus version is more impactful here. So again, looking at image recognition aspect also, this is where minor differences are there between the two versions. But now, because the image, the number of times you can interact or create data out of image, earlier it used to be, say, let's take 5 times or 10 times in a day you would be able to do, and then it would ask you to buy a paid version. But now that same thing has been made it 10x. It's 10 times what it was before, even on a free version now. So that those kind of upgrades have happened in last 1 week time. Looking at the feature comparison now, this line has been blurred very effectively. So technically now all these 8 features are now summed up in the single version. So when you look at speed, customization of GPTs, as in if you want to create your own AI tool using ChatGPT, that custom option is still there only with the premium version and not with the free version. Where speed aspect, more or less, both are working same now. Again, the memory part, as I explained, it has been expanded, which earlier used to be slow, less number of times you could interact with the chat, but now you are able to interact more number of times. And again, the text image incorporation is also consistent. So now pricing, as I mentioned, it has drastically improved with the newer thing. So again, looking at a different tool, like we saw a brief kind of abilities what this could do. Now this is another game changer. This AI tool called Perplexity has actually shaken the AI world, especially over the last 1 week to 10 days. Why? Because they came up with one of the first AI-enabled browser also. So now this is just like ChatGPT. Perplexity also has an interaction window like what we have in ChatGPT. But the difference here is this has been since beginning, since the starting of this Perplexity tool. They have a very unique feature where any inquiry or any text or any query you put in, the response what it gives with citation. So let's say I ask Perplexity to give me details on, say, let's take monogenic diabetes. Then on that monogenic diabetes, whatever information it feeds me, it will give a citation of a reference paper from which it has pulled in this information. Now, this was the stronghold of this particular AI since the very beginning it started. Now, other AIs are also doing it, but they're not doing it as effectively as Perplexity does. So this gives it a little extra edge in terms of the quality of information it generates. So again, looking at the aspect, the basic, the large language model concept remains the same. The architecture of it's just like ChatGPT and many others like Gemini and all. But here the difference is the sentiment analysis and text classification, which is the biggest strength of it, which I was trying to explain. The citation taking ability is very unique with this particular AI. So when you're doing some literature search, this particular tool stands as number one, because it kind of slows down your time of finding the right kind of information from journals. Second biggest thing, let's say you're a reviewer, you're a medical journal reviewer. You must be in clinical practice for so many years. You must be on journal boards. Let's say you get an article to review and you want to verify that whether ये references जो डाले वो fake तो नहीं है, AI generated reference तो नहीं चिपका दिए at the end of the paper. So you just need to copy paste those references in Perplexity. It will actually pinpoint you how many references are fake, how many are real, and most importantly, it will also give you a DOI link verification. तो जो DIY link है वो fake नहीं है. That feature is also there for Perplexity to do it, because we have been reviewing multiple papers across the country. And when we get a paper, we tally all the references in Perplexity, because it's just a matter of, say, 10 to 12 seconds, we'll figure out which is fake, which is true. And if at all, let's say there is a reference which is real, but वो reference का DIY link is not operating, in which case what happens is that DIY link being non-operational is also being able, Perplexity has that ability to do that as well. So these are all some unique differentiating features between the two chatbots, what we are discussing right now, these large language models. So looking at math problem solving, the summary translation, all these are multiple features of Perplexity. And when comparing to ChatGPT, as I mentioned, the quality of information is less hallucinated, more reference or citation tag. But यहाँ पे issue क्या है? The quantity of information. See, because it's picking from existing resources, the quantity of information is a kind of weak point for this tool, where ChatGPT is excelling. It practically really has no limit of giving you the volume of information. Let's say you are asking ChatGPT to create some new thoughts, or rather say create some new ideas about any medical subject research you want to plan. It will give you 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 ideas. Because when it comes to intentional, originated thinking or creative output, what it needs, ChatGPT still remains number one. Now, that is a weak point of Perplexity AI. So like this, we have one more AI which is called Claude, which now the 3 version has just taken a major update to 3.7, which is called Claude Sonnet. And there's one more paid version of it, which is called Claude Opus, which is called 4.1 version. So 3 is the family of the models, and then under that 3.7 is the free model, and 4.1 is the paid model. So Claude has a similar functionality of ChatGPT and Perplexity. Now here the advantage is, when we look at the context window, as in how many times you can interact, Claude holds a very different space here. And it has, when it comes to security part, it is the only one which has a feature, or rather a custom version, which is HIPAA compliant. HIPAA is basically a compliance for the safety and data security of any kind of health information what you are interacting with the AI bot. So as of now, till date, this is the only one which has that compliance cleared. There are others which have custom, permission-based licensing, which is possible in Google Gemini, but not in ChatGPT or any other AI bots yet. So this gives a little extra edge when you are interacting with the AI system, when you're working on healthcare-specific data. If you're doing some data analysis or something, this is definitely a more safer option out of all of them in terms of accuracy as well as the outcome. So this is one of the aspects. And then we have a fourth model, which is called Llama. Llama is a similar version which has been developed by Meta. Again, an equally competitive version of AI chat interaction. Very much similar to ChatGPT and other models. But one strong point for this is coding. So this is the strongest coding ability compared to all the models. So ChatGPT also does coding, even Perplexity does coding, even Gemini does coding. But when it comes to writing complex code, so let's say you're building a complex solution where you're integrating your Littmann stethoscopes. Say let's say you have an advanced version of C4 which has inbuilt Bluetooth system, where the Bluetooth system से आप Bluetooth say heartbeats record कर सकते हो. And then when you want this heartbeat data to be converted into something actionable, it requires a complex coding system of those sounds of heartbeats which your stethoscope has recorded, which जो आप physical file में laptop में save करोगे उसको. And then if you are wanting to convert it to a large database and find out certain specific findings of, let's say, some specific murmurs which you want to study from those sounds. Now that entire process requires a complex coding process for the solution to be made. This is where Llama excels, because Llama primarily is helping a lot of software developers and software coders build complex codes to build actual solutions. And then we come to the Gemini. I think Gemini is again another groundbreaking solution. Currently, it is at version 2.5. Now, when it comes to interaction, a human level quality of interaction, Gemini outstands. For a very simple reason, Google has been one of the largest data harvesters for last almost 10 plus years. And this ability of Google of that volume data integration, because of its ecosystem, which is already robust for more than 10 years, this gives it additional opportunity of the most human level interaction. So advanced conversation capabilities, the integration with the entire Google system, whether you take Gmail, you take Google Calendar, you take Google Sheets, you take Google Keep, सारे apps integrate करके this particular AI system can help you. So let's say I'm traveling for a conference in say, let's say Singapore, I'm going for ITT, एक मैं lecture देने जा रहा हूँ. If I want my entire itinerary to be integrated from my email of my lecture time with my entire tourist locations. Let's say I want to visit 3 to 4 times. I just need to, command to chat. I have to chat what मैं मुझे सिर्फ type करना है Gemini में. That kindly do these things for me. This is my itinerary. Go into my email and watch it. तो वो आराम से email में पढ़ेगा. Email से it will take extraction, take my permission obviously before accessing the email. कि this is my lecture time at 4 p.m. तो सुबह 11:30 से 4 बजे तक क्या करना, 6 बजे lecture खत्म करके what else am I supposed to do in evening? It will give a nice itinerary. So the beauty about Gemini is cross integration amongst multiple platforms. This none of them has. Though there are some extensions which have come recently in ChatGPT and other AI bots also, but the seamlessness with Gemini is just another level because of its huge amount of data what they've gathered over more than 2 decades. And again, this gives it to be a more personalized experience when you're using it. So again, earlier this same Gemini used to be called Bharat. It was one of the foundational models, but now everything is Gemini. It's been fully integrated. So if we look at the three, so Copilot is a similar, chatbot system by Microsoft, little less used in Indian space because of its limited functionality and outcomes. And again, when it comes to natural language processing capabilities, ChatGPT is known for its fluent and coherent responses, whereas multimodal capabilities, as in multi-integration, is again good with Gemini. And if you look at Copilot, it shines only if you give it specific things. If you give it as generalized context, it fails. Looking at factual accuracy part, ChatGPT has been known to hallucinate the most. And when it comes to factual accuracy, Gemini is better, but then perplexity is one which has practically, outshined both of them because of its ability to cite every information. So that is one very interesting ability of perplexity compared to all of these. Looking at again, when I look at versatility wise, ChatGPT is the most versatile one because यहाँ पे जो custom solutions बनाने का opportunity है using simple communication with the AI bot is just amazing that nobody else provides this efficiently. बाकी में है, but those are not as effective as ChatGPT. So integration wise, again, there's no doubt here. Gemini outshines all the tools because of its multi-app integration support. Custom again with Copilot, it is good, but Copilot it's very high. But Copilot, the thing is, you need to have enterprise level subscription to be able to do all that. Ethical comparison wise, I already mentioned for healthcare data processing or anything, the most, out of all options we have one of the versions of Claude, which is a custom version of Claude that is HIPAA compliant, but the main versions, none of them are compliant. Performance and speed wise, most of them are good. We have not covered Grok here. Grok is a relatively new chatbot, which is almost similar to ChatGPT, Gemini, and all these. So Grok speed is the key. It is the fastest interaction bot we have right now, especially when you do some mathematical. Suppose कुछ accounting task आप दे रहे हो AI को, you give say some 200 sheets of some data, and you just ask it to do some mathematical calculation or biostatistical calculation. Grok outshines all of these because Grok is trained on data of Twitter. It's owned by the same company which owns both of them. So that's again a very interesting tool which we are still exploring. So yeah, I think with these all cost and accessible aids now, more or less everybody's on the same price bracket with few changes and few options in different tiers of subscriptions. And healthcare part, as I mentioned, we have so far Claude being one of the most reliable one. DeepSeek took a lot of waves recently, but then it has actually outshined the other models at multiple different levels. But because of unclarity on how the data gets handled or the accessibility aspect, it has its own set of challenges with it. So we have still not been able to fully explore this tool. So with this brief ride on all these LLM aspects. So if we summarize it in simple words, what are the core capabilities and where do we really start using it apart from the day in day out interaction for information generation and information extraction, clinical decision support system, because we have built our own tools which are already doing some great impact in this space. Administrative tasks, yes, automizing the billing systems, automating like entire appointment systems, all these aspects, and most important, patient engagement. So all these places, LLMs have great role here. In my presentation, I'll be showing a few live examples also of these tools, where we have actually created solutions which are helping in these different capabilities. So if you look at, see, everything is not all blue and green. There are challenges specifically in healthcare. We look at high costs. Yes, we need cost-effective solutions because data handling costs are still high. They're not as cost-friendly as in the West. Inefficiencies are still there. There are still hallucination issues are there. Lack of data interoperability is also a concern, yes. And yes, physician burnout is also one of the aspects which AI has the power to cater to. So these are all current healthcare challenges. All four of these could be potentially addressed with AI because it basically does offloading of a lot of manual technical things which lead to these issues of gained out healthcare. And again, innovation, collaboration, efficiency, and a better accessibility are the core pillars which are actually going to enhance the complete care. So the future is here now with AI enhanced diagnostics, personalized treatment planning, and smart medication systems. Dr. Alok Modi, in fact, he himself has created one of the pioneering innovation, which is on drug interactions checker. It's so effective that beyond pharmacopoeia, there are certain agents which we don't even know have drug interactions, but potentially biomolecular level, if we track and trace it, they have. His solution is so powerful that it has ability to even figure out non-documented drug interactions, but then biochemically, if you see or if you show it to a person who is doing, let's say, pharmacology, they'll agree to it because of the cross interaction at molecular level. So AI has just taken a giant leap in this space as well. So improving diagnosis, looking at patient-based outcomes. So we have again built certain solutions which are on, looking at prediction of risk of development of complications, which again help here. A lot of game-changing things are on the way. Patient engagement, Dr. Bharat Saboo, in fact, has built a solution called Mitra, which actually won this year's Best Career Abstract of 2025 at ADA in Chicago. And this was all, the entire model what we've created is based on patient engagement model. And that's again another milestone work. So AI is not just theory anymore. We have actual physical deployable, utilizable solutions, which are making a huge difference in the way we practice and enhance the quality of care of our patients. So with this brief introduction on where the future is headed, I'll end this session and would like to take up any questions if we can address it. And nothing to say on radiology. In fact, the recent most study which happened in radiology, specifically on imaging analysis, it has actually crossed all the boundaries of human radiology capacity. The reason is the quality of or the quantity of images on which an AI can be trained is practically limitless, but human has limitation there. So the imaging is just going to another leap right now. A huge transformation is happening, and clinical documentation and other aspects are also there. And with this, I hand over to Dr. Alok for any other further questions and anything. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Harsh. That was phenomenal. That was good. As expected, like you guys have seen, he's invited faculty in many national, international meets, and we keep hobnobbing over a cup of coffee. And a lot more things are. I leave the surprise to him. He's created one of the most fantastic medical legal tools, which has been approved by the legal authorities of India. But I won't talk about it. I won't steal the limelight. So he's done a fantastic work. And together in the company of Doc Yantra and Shift, we are all building up solutions which are meant, like, what Abraham Lincoln had said, for the people, of the people, and by the people. So we believe in one thing: AI should be by doctors and engineers synergy, by doctors, for the doctors, and of the doctors. And that would make a big difference in the ecosystem tomorrow. So thank you, Harsh. I really appreciate what you've done. And thank you, Dr. Bharat. Though you were not there, your slides made you present and showed what phenomenal work you're doing. Very grateful to you for these both the brothers of mine who help us enormously in all our AI ecosystem tasks and driven forces. So I'll stop here. Back to our respected MOC, Dr. Navneet, for taking it forward. And Navneet, back to you. The podium is back to you. So
Thank you, sir. Actually, a very excellent talk. Thank you so much. I request Dr. Ajit Desai, sir, to continue the sessions further. Dr. Ajit Desai is Chairman, Social Service Cell of AMC.
Hello.
Dr. Ajit Desai, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Hello. How are you, Navneet?
That's all fine, sir.
Achha. Good afternoon, everybody. In fact, first of all, can you hear
very
me?
good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. First of all, I would like to thank our President, Dr. Rajeev Agarwal, our Program Committee Chairman, Dr. Navneet Desai, and last not but the least, Dr. Alok Modi, for allowing me to introduce one of the great distinct, you can say, in the field of orthopedic surgery as well as in the field of AI, to introduce Dr. Neeraj Bijlani. The Neeraj Bijlani is a consultant orthopedic surgeon and tech enthusiastic. He is the chief of OrthoTech clinic in Chembur. He is the co-founder of OrthoTV, Ortho AI, and CAIMD. He was a past honorary secretary of Bombay Orthopedic Society. I will now ask Dr. Neeraj Bijlani to speak on maximizing use of credit card for doctors. Hand over to Neeraj Bijlani.
I think there's some network connection issue probably. I'll just call him. And yeah, he's there. Welcome, Neeraj.
Yeah, can you see this? Can you hear my voice clearly?
We can hear you and we can see you and your screen. All three of you, all three of you are present here, except your clone is not here, but everything else is there.
Okay. So I'll just show you. This is my presentation on magic of credit cards. Before I proceed, I would like to create a disclaimer. I am not a credit card expert. This is, as per my knowledge, is a knowledge sharing session purely based on my experience of using multiple credit cards over the last 15 years. In case you learn and earn, it is your profit. But in case you lose money due to overuse of credit card, it is your loss. We don't want your profit, neither do we want your loss. So with this, I begin with an introduction. So what are the main types of credit cards which are available in India? The recent one is a RuPay credit card. Then there is Visa, MasterCard, and the last two which are not so commonly accepted is Diners and American Express, that is the Amex one. These are the most common types of credit card which are used in India. Now we'll go from the basic credit card to the most advanced credit cards, depending on the usage and depending on how you are starting out or starting in. So the most basic credit card, supposing a person who's a young doctor, the new generation, I'm seeing that they are only using UPI everywhere. So if they want to shift from UPI to start using credit card, they should start with this. This is a Go Kiwi Yes Bank UPI credit card. It is basically a credit card which can help you make payments on UPI. Means you can scan a QR code and make the payment through this credit card using the Go Kiwi app. Why should we use a credit card? Because it gives rewards as a cashback. This is a basic beginner card. And as I told you, that a person who wants to use the first credit card without having much of hassles can use this for UPI payments. Of course, you also get a physical credit card where you can go and make payments using the physical credit card, but there is no much advantage of it. And for people who want to use the app to make payments using a credit card, then this is the best one because it is an app based and it is free and there is no annual fees, no joining fees for this. Then the second basic credit card, which I recommend everyone to use, those who are especially who are starting out, because most of us do online shopping on Amazon, and this is the lifetime free best beginner credit card. The most important advantage is that you will get 5% cashback on all Amazon spends. So whatever you spend on Amazon, you will get a 5% cashback in the form of Amazon Pay voucher, which you will be able to use again on Amazon. So this is one of the most very good credit cards, which gives you, of course, it has a capping of, I think, 4,000 rupees per month. After that, it does not give you any more cashback. Then there is one more cashback credit card. Supposing you are saying that I'm not spending much on online, I want something on offline, or I want something on which I can use any website. I should not be restricted to Amazon. Then I will talk about SBI cashback credit card. Again, a very basic credit card. You get 5% cashback on all online spends, whether it is travel, whether it is any website where it has to be an online transaction. You will get 1% on all offline spends also a cashback. There is an annual fee here, which is around 1,500 rupees. But if you spend 2 lakhs in a year, that annual fee is completely waived off. So I will always recommend everyone to have one SBI card, because whatever happens, whatever type of sale happens, whatever type of cashback, SBI card is one of the biggest, if not the biggest. It is always involved in some cashback everywhere, whether you go to Chroma or whether you buy something online, whether there is an Amazon sale or a Flipkart sale, sometime or the other in the year, you will be able to utilize that. Even if you don't spend 2 lakhs, 1,500 rupees cashback, you are going to get it wherever you spend on it, because there is a 10% cashback up to 2,000 discount. That sale keeps on coming 3 to 4 times in a year. So you should always have a SBI card. And this is one of the basic cards, which has a very low annual fee and a very good cashback. Then we come to a little higher cards. These are the HDFC Metal Twins. So it is very difficult to get Infinia because you need to have a higher account, say maybe account of basically 30-35 lakhs of income, which is easy for a consultant. But still, you have to reach that stage where you are having some good business with HDFC Bank. So the Infinia is a little difficult to get. But the Biz Black or the Diners Black is comparatively very easy to get. The annual fees are very high. It is 10,000 plus GST. But mind you, I am using this card since last 5 years and I have not paid annual fee even once. You have to spend around 8 to 10 lakh rupees in a year, and then annual fees is waived off. There is a very good return of almost 3.3%. And if you use their Smart Buy website, which is smartbuy.hdfcbank.com, to purchase your travel tickets, to purchase whatever you want, Amazon, whatever, go through that website, then the reward multiplies. The redemption options which I mainly use are in the form of points. Supposing in BizBlack or Infinia, I get 1 point, that 1 point is equal to 1 rupee. And the main advantage is that you can go and buy your ticket, any air ticket. So on this website, this is offers.smartbuy.hdfcbank.com. And as you can see that this website you can go to Amazon through this website, Flipkart through this website, or you can book your tickets, flights, hotels, train, everything. And when you use this and you use it allows you to pay via points. And up to 70% of your air ticket can be paid via points. For example, recently I wanted to book a ticket to Coimbatore for my wife. I went to this portal. The ticket cost was, say, return ticket was around 10,000-11,000. And I ended up paying only 3,000. Rest was using my points. So you can accumulate the points up to 3 years and you can use it whenever you want. I have even paid 70% of one of my international trips for my family, where the whole ticket cost was 1,10,000. But I ended up paying only 35,000 because I could manage to use 75,000 points for my air tickets. So these are the best cards to use as of today if your spend is a little higher. If you have not got any HDFC card, what I would recommend is you start with something called as HDFC Regalia Gold. In the first year, spend 4 or 5 lakhs in that card. And next year, ask for an upgrade and you will get it. If you already have an HDFC Bank account, your main account, then you can ask for this Diners Club card or the Biz Black card. Now, let me talk about the advantage of this Biz Black card. The Biz Black card, which is the Diners Club card, is very good for people who have to pay advance tax because you get points even on that. No other cards gives you points on advance tax. Of course, you have to pay a little extra, but the points covers that up. And also, you get 50 days of credit. You can also pay your GST. If you are a GST holder, you can pay your GST using this. So advance tax, GST, and your income tax all can be paid using the Biz Black card. Infinia, of course, you can pay, but you don't get any points. But Biz Black, you get points for it. So if you are a doctor who's running his own clinic or is not in a job, the BizBlack card is easier to get compared to the Infinia card. Now I come to another card, which I use very regularly, is the Amex Platinum Travel Card. Remember, Amex has very similar platinum cards. There are two. One is the Platinum Charge Card. Don't go for that. That annual fees is very high. It is 60,000 rupees. This is the basic Amex Platinum Travel Card, which is only 5,000 rupees plus GST of is annual fees. However, the annual fees can never be waived off. But in the whole year, if you spend 4 lakhs, you get return of approximately 6.5%. As soon as you finish 4 lakhs, you will get a Taj voucher in your email, which is worth 10,000, which you can use for stay in any Taj hotel in India. Any Taj properties. Taj has many properties. In Bombay, it has 5 or 6. Besides that, you can also, and it's simple, that 10K is equal to 10,000 for your stay. So if your bill is 20,000, 10K is directly minus. There is no discount or anything. Directly 10,000 is minus from your bill. So that value is 10,000. Plus, you get a bonus points of approximately 25,000, which again can be used for domestic airlines for approximately 8 to 10,000 rupees, depending on your time of booking. So the return, when you're paying 5,900, the return is almost 20,000. So it's a very high return card. So I would recommend that you spend, but remember, spend only 4 lakhs and then stop using it. That is what I do. Sometimes they will give an extra Taj voucher that you spend 2.5 lakhs and you can get an extra Taj voucher. That is up to you. You want to continue, take that or not. But I usually do this, spend 4 lakhs on this and then stop using that card and continue everything on my HDFC, Infinia or BizBlack. American Express also, if you want to claim the points, there is a reward multiplier. You go through this website, again, using similar to Smart Buy and buy things, book your travel, and you get more points. However, there is one restriction that American Express is not accepted very well universally. That is why you spend only 4 lakhs in a year. 4 lakhs means 30,000 a month. I think that is very easy to do. Do not use it to pay utility bills because you are charged extra. Use it for your shopping, especially when you go to the malls, when you go to the restaurants to eat. Use this American Express card, and that gives you a lot of benefit because that 4 lakhs gets over in no time. I also use it for my insurance payments. Then also it is useful. Then we come to one more card, Access Atlas card. This is a very good card if you travel a lot. Even if you are taking 5 to 6 flights in a year, this is very good. You can transfer points to airline and hotel redemption, especially Accor group. The main advantage is that when you transfer 1 point to an Accor group of hotels, then you get 2 points. And 1 point of Accor is 2 rupees. So for every 1 point, you are earning 4 rupees of Accor. Say, for example, you want to go on a vacation and you have decided to stay in Novotel or Sofitel. Accor is basically Novotel, Sofitel in the Asia Pacific. So you have to take a free Accor membership and you have spent, say, few lakhs and you have accumulated, say, 10,000 points on it. So those 10,000 points will become 20,000 Accor points, which will become 40,000 Indian rupees of Accor in Accor group of hotels. So you can easily stay for 2 to 3 nights in any Sofitel or Novotel in Asia Pacific. Of course, it also gives you a significant number of domestic and international lounge access. As per now, everyone knows that there is domestic lounge access become useless now in India. But international lounge access is still good. So if you go abroad and you use this card for the international lounge access, that also is very good. Again, the annual fee is 5,000 plus GST. This is not waived, but if you travel and spend 60K, 1,000 plus in a month, you will get so many points that you will be able to cover this 5,000 very easily. So this is the Access Atlas card. Also, we should always have one Access card and one HDFC and one SBI in our armamentarium. If not this, you can always go for a Flipkart Access card, which is a very basic card, which is free for life. Because when you go to the airport and you're traveling, on duty-free, Access usually has offers of 10%. So you can use it for duty-free shopping also. And always these Access cards, travel cards, has some travel offers always going on. So one Access card, one HDFC and one SBI, and the fourth is American Express should be there in your armamentarium. Besides that, ICICI recently, in the year 2024-25, has come out with this new card called ICICI Bank Private Emerald Metal Card. Basically, this is giving the competition to the HDFC Infinia, which was the boss card up till now. But it was very difficult to get compared to this, which is not so difficult to get. If you say don't have an account in HDFC, but you have a big account in ICICI, then you can go for this card. This card has, again, if you spend more than 10 lakhs a year, annual fees are waived. The main advantage is that it's got unlimited lounge access, something similar to Infinia and BizBlack. Again, it has got a very high reward rate, 3%, as compared to the same as HDFC cards of Infinia and BizBlack. It also gives you a one-night stay free in the Taj Hotel when you join this card for the first time, and gives you an Epicure membership. And they also have a separate travel portal where you can book tickets and you can claim the points. The advantage of this is, say, for example, your ticket is 10,000. In HDFC, I could claim only 7,000 points and 3,000 I still have to pay. In ICICI, I can claim all the points and pay zero. And there is one more advantage. If you have selected, the ICICI also gives you the portal, zero cancellation fees if they book through the ICICI Smart Buy portal. So it is very important that you use these cards very sensibly. Just having these cards is not enough. You have to use these also. So if your spend is more than 10 lakhs a year, then annual fees can be waived. If it is less, do not go for these high-end cards. Now I come to some tips on maximizing how to use. So what I do is that I use the check and the cred app to make insurance and bill payments. I always use bill payments using my credit card. So I don't have to pay any extra fees. Then I use my instant discount cards for Amazon and Flipkart sales, which happens usually, which is actually going to come next month end. And always try to use credit card payments where allowed, if not being charged extra, instead of UPI or debit card. Always remember that paying with credit card will always give you some reward points or the other. And that reward points can later on be used together, clubbed and used together. So for example, you go to a restaurant and that restaurant has an option of UPI and credit card to pay by credit card. Or you go to do any shopping and that shop has an option of paying by credit card versus UPI, pay by credit card. All your electricity bills, telephone bills, mobile bills, recharges, you can pay by credit card. All your utility bills, gas bill. Now, in my society, they even take credit card for maintenance, annual maintenance of the society. You can also, if you're staying on rent, you can pay your rent using a website called Red Giraffe or No Broker using your credit card. Of course, you are charged a little bit extra, but you're charged 1%, but the returns you get is more than 3%. So it is definitely more useful. You can maximize the whole use of credit cards. But remember one thing, that basically always pay your credit card bills in full. On my phone, there are reminders for every month, repeated reminders for paying my credit card on time. If you use the check app keeps on giving you WhatsApp reminder till you have paid the credit card. So use the check app or the cred app for making payments of the credit card using Google Pay. Email addresses should not be used for OTP. Normally, there is an email address also can be used for OTP, but do not put your email address for OTP. You can use email address for receiving the alerts, but not for the OTP. Always set reminders for making the payments of credit card bills. Always pay in full. Do not overuse credit card. Do not pay the minimum value because then you'll be charged interest from the day one or when you use the credit card. Say, for example, your bill came on the 20th, but you use something on the 1st. So you'll be charged interest at the rate of 3.5% per month, not per annum, per month for that. So never do that. Some banks also allow auto payments once you set it up. So you can, of course, speak to your bank and set up an auto payment if you tend to forgetting the credit card payments. So let me go again through the summary of the credit cards, which I said. HDFC Diners, BizBlack and Infinia, that is my favorite cards. SBI Cashback Card is a basic card. Amazon Pay ICICI Bank Card is used only mainly for Amazon. American Express Platinum Travel Card, use it for 4 lakhs and then stop. I don't have the last two, ICICI Bank Private Emerald Card and Axis Atlas Card, but if you don't have a relationship with HDFC, these are the 2 cards to take, which are very easy to get if you have a relation with ICICI and Axis. So my final take-home message is very simple. If you are starting, you go with Go Kiwi app. It's a RuPay card from Yes Bank. If you're already started, anybody want to spend only less than 30,000 a month, use the free cards like the Amazon Pay and SBI Cashback, which will give you annual fee waiver and also give you a lot of cashback. If you are using 30 to 60,000 a month, start using Axis Atlas and MX Platinum combination, and you will be able to make a lot of cashback from this and a Taj voucher and a lot of travel cashbacks. And if you're using 60K to 1 lakh a month or more, then you should definitely take one of these cards, either the Infinia, either the Diners Black or the Diners Black BizBlack Metal, or the ICICI Emerald Private Metal, depending on your relationship with the bank. And with this, I end my talk and I hand over back to Dr. Alok Modi. Thank you very much for this opportunity, AMC and Dr. Alok.
Thanks, Neeraj. You don't have to thank me. And I wanted to add 2-3 lines. It's very easy to give a talk. It's very easy to learn things yourself. It's very difficult to build up a foundation. It's very difficult to train others. And it's very, very difficult to get it implemented in the minds of everybody and get things moving in a society at a national level. Dr. Neeraj does not deserve a thank you. He deserves a standing ovation as far as I'm concerned, because he's changed a huge society of orthopedics into the technology society. I have created a tech doc group where we do a lot of AI discussions, and unfortunately, I have a lot of big shots in the country. I have many award winners and Padma Shris also in my group. But Neeraj has been doing this in his ortho group for a very long time, and he's created a whole ecosystem of orthopedics who are highly ingrained into technology. Neeraj, from my heart, a lot of thanks and gratefulness to you for doing so much. And with your permission, can I just do a little snippet here, which can help everybody?
Yeah, sure.
Can I add a few points? Alok, I would like to add a few points since Dr. Neeraj is on that. We are on this topic. I hope you don't mind, Dr. Neeraj. Dr. Kerkar.
Yes, please go ahead.
No. So I guess you touched upon a lot of factors. I hope, like all the delegates and me, we all hope that we have that one card which will give all the benefits together, but it doesn't happen. But I think one point which I thought was not discussed was the Forex. Did we talk about that? The markup?
No, Forex, no, because Forex markup was not there because I don't prefer to use Forex cards abroad. I always carry cash.
Okay, yeah, that's
my experience my experience is very limited with it.
No. So that's one thing I just thought I'll clarify. So there are certain cards which give you can use the cards abroad with zero markup fee. It's like most of the
cards. Scapia and Neo Global. These are the two ones.
Yes, the one which I use is Axis Burgundy Private. So what it does is when I use it abroad, it doesn't charge me any markup fee. So if I use it for $100 and the rate of dollar is 88, I get charged 8,800 rupees only. Nothing more, nothing less. And I think there are a few other cards which also do that. So that's, if somebody doesn't want to use a Forex card, using cash is the best. But sometimes you can't carry legally huge amounts of cash. So that is where
you're right.
That is where you can use this credit cards. I think there's one by RBL Bank also, there is one card which also offers this. So as we say, each card has a different thing to offer, and you got to choose what you use. If your primary use is, say, filling petrols, paying utility bills, you got to see what gives you, because most cards today don't pay you anything, no reward points for fuel payments. So I guess you got to select which cards would suit your nature of expenditure. I just want to touch upon that Forex part, which I thought was...
Dr. Prashant, the Burgundy metal card is not available to everyone. You have to have a really huge account with Axis. Only then it is. So if you're talking about 0% Forex, the latest card which everyone can access is Scapia card by Federal Bank, which is again an app-based card, or the Neo Global, but then you have to open an account there. So I have tried both of them, and I feel that though they tell you 0% Forex, but if you compare it with XC.com, there is always a little bit markup is always there.
Yeah. So
especially in the non-dollar and non-euro currency. If it's an unpopular currency, there is a markup.
Okay. No, my experience is only with Axis Burgundy Private, but that's what I thought I will share.
But like you said, that almost zero. Like for all traditional currency, it is almost zero.
And the other thing I wanted to add was when you mentioned about this Infinia and BizBlack giving you 1 rupee per point that you have. That is also specifically on Smart Buy and a few products. Like suppose you're buying Apple products or Tanishq products. Or
I was talking mainly on tickets.
Yeah. So on hotels or flights. So it doesn't give ₹1 for everything. So that's another thing we should be careful about when you're redeeming it. We should check before redeeming it whether it is offering you that benefit, because it is not across.
I redeem. So as I told you, only for tickets and holiday packages, not even hotels many times. So mainly
Yeah.
I use it for tickets, mainly for travel tickets.
No, I just thought, as
Okay.
our people who have joined in, they should have that
Yes.
information also. I just
Right.
thought I'll complete.
You are right, 100% right. If you buy an Amazon voucher, it will charge you around 5 rupees, 5 points for 1 rupee.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can take it for cashback also, but it gives only 20%. So
Yes, right.
50% of the value. So it doesn't make sense. Right, Alok, we can
Right.
go ahead. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Dr.
I think we
Bijlani.
can continue
Wonderful talk.
further. We are
Yeah,
on
so
time.
just before we end, you can take a screenshot of this image. These are the people who talk a lot about credit cards, and I have learned a lot from all these three people. On Instagram, there is Ali Ajiani at that credit card guy. And there is a website called www.cardexpert.in. He's been there since he's a very young chap, but he's been running this website for almost 10 years. And there is YouTube, which is Spend Wisely. This fellow also makes good YouTube videos. So these are the three people you should follow. And if you want to learn more about credit cards.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Moving ahead further, I would request Dr. Gurudas Kulkarni, he is trustee AMC, to kindly introduce our next speaker.
Thank you, Navneet.
Thank you, sir.
Dear colleagues, I am pleased to introduce Dr. Hirani, young renowned diabetologist who did his fellowship under Padma Shri Professor Dr. V. Mohan in Chennai. Winner of Torrent Young Scholar Awardee 2019. He was honored as the best orator, and I'm sure we already experienced him in his first lecture. He did his masterclass training in diabetes therapeutics and technology from Joslin Diabetic Center and Boston University, USA. Received gold level trainer certification from Time in Range Academy, Park Nicollet International Diabetic Center, Minnesota, USA. Associated as Global Trainer Faculty Certificate, certified by International Diabetic Federation. Completed his PG diploma in medical law and ethics. He holds advanced certification in AI in medicine and MIT, that is Massachusetts International Technology Certification in No Code AI and ML. Founder Director, Tosiantra Private Limited, a state-of-the-art AI in healthcare solutions and company. He is director, consultant, and the youngest business coach, transforming business journeys of CEOs, CFOs, proprietors, and MDs. He has authored chapters and peer-reviewed papers in diabetes in leading textbooks and journals, namely American Diabetic Association, Indian Journal of Diabetic Technology, Indian Journal of Cardiodiabetology and Metabolic Diseases, and so on. Winner of many best research abstracts. I invite Dr. Hirani to deliver his lecture. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Gurudas, sir, for those kind words of introduction. And it's indeed yet another honor for me to take a session on something which is very dear to me, which is on AI. I'm also thankful to Dr. Alok, who has been a mentor figure to a lot of us when it comes to navigating AI in the Indian space. In fact, he's the one who pointed me out to some amazing courses during my earlier career stage. And yes, definitely to the entire AMC team for taking this phenomenal initiative of digital education to the entire medical fraternity. I especially loved all these sessions since the beginning. I was hearing out, I think these are some very interesting topics and a lot of game changers to a lot of us. Thank you. With that humble beginning, I'm going to share my slides. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, your screen is visible.
Yes. So thank you once again. Is my slide moving forward as we see?
Yeah, everything is moving fine.
Perfect.
The only thing, like I said, we like your clone over here. Otherwise, you're there in person. Maybe next CMC meeting, we want to see your clone also.
Oh, that would be exciting. So thank you so much. So let's begin a very interesting topic, which is called natural language processing in artificial intelligence. So just roughly an hour back, I briefly touched points on Dr. Bharat Saboo's expert topic, which is on large language models, which are basically the core technology behind all these chatbots or AI bots, what we are experiencing over last 1.5 years. But the technology which is behind this large language model, or the core concept which is behind these large language models, or behind this artificial intelligence, the intelligence part of this is actually driven by something what we call as natural language processing. In simple words, it is the understanding of language of data. So just like we as human to human interact in words, when it comes to interaction of a human with a technology system, it is the data in which it communicates. So before I talk about it, let me discuss on 3 important aspects which are hidden crisis in our clinical notes, when we are documenting or when we are doing any manual documentation of clinical scenario. So first and foremost aspect is an estimated 80% of all health data is unstructured text, whether you take it in a clinical notes form or in a reports form. The consequences in India, with 1.4 billion people and 22 languages, the vital patient information is often buried, leading to missed insights and an increasing clinical burden, especially of preventable long-term complications. And the solution has arrived now in form of artificial intelligence, which is natural language processing, which is actually going to unlock the entire, Pandora box. And it's going to be this treasure, which is, it's going to be the trove of clinical data. So I'll not spend much time on defining artificial intelligence, because many of us have seen so many lectures, so many things hearing about it. But I'd just like to make a short impact on goal. Why artificial intelligence? The idea of now adopting or implementing or accepting artificial intelligence is to augment clinical decision-making capacity, which is through adaptive intelligence. Though it is artificial intelligence, yes, it is artificial, but it is artificial with the conduit of adaptiveness of the core system. So where does this natural language processing fit in all these aspects? How does language training for an AI system, or how does the communication to an AI system make such an impact? So if AI is in the entire field of medicine perspective, if we see, NLP is very crucial specialty. It's just like neurology or cardiology when we talk about whether the brain or the heart as an organ, right? NLP specializes in enabling computers to actually understand, interpret, and generate a response in form of a human language which we can understand. So if you look at the code of any kind of this technology or human interaction, it's always like binary 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 1 1 1 1 0 0. So it's not something which a human mind can comprehend. So that technology which converts these numbers or this data into an actual language which we can understand and interact is what NLP is. It is essential bridge that connects the unstructured text-based world of clinical notes, or rather clinical data, to a structured, analyzable outcome, right? So if we look a little more simplified, it's NLP is like the medical intern that reads and understands clinical notes. Right? Think of NLP as a highly efficient, supremely intelligent medical intern, which basically has abilities to scan millions of pages, leave hundreds, millions of pages of text in seconds, not even in minutes. It has ability, this technology, the core behind AI, has ability to comprehend clinical context, which includes shorthand and local terminology. It has ability to extract, rather highlight what's most important, whether you take it as medications, symptoms, diagnostics. I'm going to show you a live demo, as I promised in the next few slides, on how does this really happen in real time. And so basically, NLP has power to turn everyday clinical language into a structured data of powerful insights, insightful data, outcome-driven insights. So if you look at NLP as a whole technology toolkit, what can it actually do? Information extraction, clinical summarization. It can do trend analysis. Very, very important. So if we see data, or rather any form of healthcare data, let's take an ECG data, let's take a CGM data, right? Let's take an echocardiography data, let's take a nerve conduction study data. What are these all? These are graphs, these are trends. Right? So that's where NLP is changing the games forever now. So looking at a proven impact, let's look at theory to kafi baat ho gaya. Let's look at the actual real world impact, what's really happening. 94% accuracy levels have been achieved in identifying cancer type and staging just from pathology reports with this NLP technology. 89% sensitivity for detecting myocardial infarction just from ECG reports and clinical notes. Imagine, friends, where the world is headed to. And 91% of pharmacovigilance, which is all about accuracy in identifying adverse drug events from clinical text, has been identified. And friends, the last one I'm going to show you live demo, which we have actually created a solution, around that. Yes, when we look at a larger scale of public health, during any form of outbreaks, NLP can also analyze news and social media to really track the disease spread, and that too, it happens in real time. So this is the power of NLP, friends. The core behind, it's like the limbic system. Imagine AI as a human being, and that limbic system is what NLP is all about, right? That's the power of what we are discussing right now. So looking at clinical note to an actionable insight, if you have an unstructured clinical note, let's take presence with persistent cough, fever, denies chest pain, history of asthma. AI can actually analyze this note and give you a differential diagnosis. A structured data, let's say cough, fever, chest pain absent, asthma is present. Now this data is actually ready for any form of future analysis. What if you want to study the correlation between, let's take asthma and fever, right? You want to study incidence of fever in high-grade fever in asthma patients. Well, here this kind of data can be converted into an actionable insights. So enough of concept building and technology. Let me now dive straight into the live demo or live things, what are actually happening, what we're doing, what's accessible, and what's getting built up. So I'm going to show you a lot of live examples where some of them are at ideation state, some of them are at prototype state, some of them are fully well-built state. The solutions are in the stage where they're in the testing process. Some of them are there which are undergoing major iteration upgradation, right? So multiple stages. Each of the solution is at one of the stages in this. And we are privileged to be one of the first, healthcare tech startups in India to be leading this in forefront with Dr. Alok and Dr. Bharat as one of the leading faces, and myself. So all three of us have been running this. So before we start our solutions, let me showcase you certain solutions which are ready to use, accessible in India directly. So if you look at Indra is one of the solutions which is based on this NLP technology. They have built pathology analysis AI-based system where the Indra pathology tool is actually able to look at the histopathology images and give you outcomes which are far, far, far more accurate than humans can because of the volume of data it's been trained on. From my own town, which is my own place, which is Hyderabad, we have a technology which is called DOSI systems. It is one of the first contactless remote patient monitoring systems, and it has a very unique concept called ballistocardiography, which basically uses mechanical vibrations produced by micro and macro body movements to study the cardiac functions extended to pulmonary and other functions. So these sensors are placed under the mattress and capture micro vibrations produced in every heartbeat, respiratory cycles, whether they're tremors, seizures, or any posture change without any contact. And this, friends, is US FDA cleared. This is an ISO certified. So these are all existing solutions which are there in market, which are now making huge waves in their expansive state. CDSCO license also it carries. Let's look at Cure AI. Cure AI is again yet very interesting AI solution which exists right now. It has it has been used in early detection and management of pulmonary cancers. So again, it's a clinical decision support system where contextual evidence-based recommendations it is able to yield based on the radiology outputs. There's another tool which is called Doctor Assist AI. It's being developed by one of the companies which we are consulting. We are consultants to a lot of AI companies also. There's a developer in Bangalore who has built this solution. Here, the beauties is one of the world's first agentic AI in healthcare. Here, it doesn't just suggest, it's a real-time clinical engine which thinks slightly deeper. It verifies smarter, it strengthens clinical decision systems. So this kind of AI is so powerful that it has ability to process the report data and give certain outcomes which are noteworthy in terms of your clinical decision making. So another tool is called Hather. This is also one of the first HIPAA compliant tool. It is actually used to do summarizing of your patient records and other things. And now we start with our tools. So you can see Dr. Alok Modi's name here. This is one of his pioneering work, which is a drug interactions and contraindications tool. So I'm going to show a live demo here. So is the video visible to everyone? Yes?
Yeah, Harsh, it's visible.
Yeah, perfect. So here I'm just, so this is one of the prototype stage product what we have built. We're just asking it to give drug interactions between dapagliflozin and spironolactone. Okay. So clear cut, you can see how beautifully it's summarizing. Increased risk of hyperkalemia, it's showing hypotension risk, it's showing renal function impairment. We are able to see the monitoring aspects, what all aspects do we look at? Yes, hydration status, very important, because the risk reduction of dehydration is very important here. Right? So very nice, crisp outcome. And Dr. Alok has trained this on multiple interaction scenarios. So this is a trained model. It's not a random Google search wala model. It has been trained on pharmacology textbooks. It has been trained on real case scenarios of drug interactions. Henceforth, the way it answers is not like a Google answer or a simple ChatGPT answer. It's a very well structured answer. Yes. So as you can see, we are looking at further other possible interactions. Yes, we're looking at DevOps and lithium, all these being highlighted with a clinical reasoning and clinical consideration at place. Yes. So along with these two, if any of other agents listed are there, that also need to be considered, right? So this is just a very brief demo. This is another tool which I have developed under our company, which is DocYantra. This tool was actually published in IJDT, International Journal of Diabetes Technology, where we did a pilot work with 25 other physicians like ourselves to actually test this tool. So basically, how does this work this is a parametric analysis tool where you enter manually the parameters of certain blood reports. There's a technology which with OCR processes the reports, which we have trained it on. It extracts key metrics. It gives user reviews about the information. It confirms the data output. It asks whether any corrections are needed. Then we further enter any missing data and all. And hardly this entire process, when missing metrics, whatever is there, and then we get the outcome. This hardly takes 10 to 15 seconds, not even more than that. The entire process, what you saw here. So the research impact, what this is designed is to report risk scores for diabetes complications. To highlight any abnormal values which require immediate attention. We normally do this with our own eyes, but imagine this being done at your front desk by your assistant, even before you actually see the patient, and you get a summary sheet before you actually see the patient, how impactful your conversation will become with that patient. So that same 5 to 7 minutes what you are going to give to that patient, you will be pre-informed about so many aspects, which otherwise would take 3 to 4 minutes for you just to go through reports, process in your mind, leave communicating to the patient, right? So that's the power of AI, friends. And each avoided hospitalization, what we could see as an outcome, I'm sure you know these numbers better than anyone. Earlier intervention potential, reduction in complication management costs, and most important, decreased emergency visits. So these are the projected benefits we could outcome from our tool. So let me show you a live demo. Let's say these are the parameters which we manually entered. Let's say HbA1c of 9.4. The fasting sugars here, home iron index we entered 15.3, which is very high. So the person is in severe insulin resistance. The C-peptide is fairly okay. The average blood glucose is showing a poor control. These are all the parameters what we manually entered already. And now we see what magic happens. The moment we have, so for this tool, because it's been extensively trained on so many guidelines, so many cutoffs, so many things tweaked as per the Indian cutoffs, Asian Indian cutoffs, especially on the metabolism parameters. You are able to see here, it's a beautiful summary chart. Now, so it's actually prompting whether we need any further calculations from this, any specific risk scores we need. So you've trained on multiple risk scores such as NASH, now which is called massively risk score. So that's now, these are dedicated formulas which we have built. We have done a lot of mathematical training work behind to train this AI on. AST-ALT ratio formulas, the platelet count integration formulas, everything has been done. So you're able to see here. Now it's actually pointing out that BMI, I have not entered it. So the moment it has asked me to enter BMI, I'm actually entering the BMI, which is 29.5. right? So all these parametric analysis, if you see, it's actually calculating me a FIB score. Hardly took what 45 seconds to do this. And does it require a medical intelligence to do this? No, even your assistant can be trained to do this. Right? Simple parametric, anything of parameters to be entered, it creates a beautiful summary table like this. Now imagine before you see the patient, you get a sheet like this, a fully well-structured crafted sheet in front of your table. Print out a simple 25 paisa paper wala printout, and then you treat the patient, see the quality of the conversation you're able to do with the patient. This is a game changer. This is what DiaSheet is all about. It works on concise risk scores which are specific to diabetes complications. Now let me take you to the third tool which we have built as a team, Dr. Bharat, Dr. Alok, and myself. This is called CGM Maestro. It is actually undergoing a patent process right now. This tool right now, we have already applied for patent here. It gives expert insights on CGM trends, diabetes medications, and real-world glucose values. Again, this paper also we published in IJBT around the same time. So this entire AI solution, what we have built, again, the core technology for all these solutions which I'm showing is NLP, natural language processing. That's the core technology, but the training is where the whole game changes. This entire solution is built upon situational learning in CGM interpretation. So imagine yourself, probably 20, 30, 5 years, 11 years back, into medicine wards, and you're taking a morning round with your professor, right? In most of our days, our professors would ask, what's the differential diagnosis? They'll never ask, if you say like, okay, this is, let's say scrub typhus fever, they'll say, no, give me the differential diagnosis, because that's how the medicine training happens. So this tool is actually trained to behave like that. It is trained to give differential diagnosis with actionable interventions for CGM scenarios. So here the research, again, and this was one of our paper, what we presented, we again had 20 healthcare professionals, we had 40% of endocrinologists, 35% endocrinologists, and 25% of general practitioners use this tool and give us a real world outcome data with utilizing of this tool, where we saw 65% clinicians projected more than 25% of time being saved on analysis of a CGM report. 70% expected 25% improvement in their patient outcomes because of the gray areas what AI could find, which our physical eyes could not, into the graphs of CGM. And the confidence was very high, 4.3%. And if you look at the experience-based learning outcomes, expert users felt 4.8 out of 5 when it came to pattern recognition. It was very high compared to any such tools being developed. So let's say I've given it a CGM scenario, I've given it a situational finding, a finding on which need to know the differential diagnosis. I've given it as a 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. hypoglycemia and early morning hypoglycemia. These are the two events which are noticeable on a CGM graph for a 68-year-old adult male diabetic patient. The patient is hypertensive and dyslipidemic. He has history of ASCVD. Simple. That's it. This findings you see any on and these kind of variations you see on whenever you're handling a CGM report. And the person is also on insulin. Let's see what the tool is doing. Let's see the magic. Now, with this scenario, the tool is actually going to figure out differential diagnosis on what are the possibilities. If you see here, you can see clearly the current therapy, the patient is on insulin, lifestyle, sedentary or moderate, and possible delayed gastric index, giving all possibilities. It's also indicating there's a potential of polypharmacy, right? Time-specific hypoglycemia events, right? Insulin peaking, missed snacks, right? It's actually giving window match. So 4 to 6 p.m. window, if there is hypoglycemia, what are the possibilities? It's giving clear-cut indication that there could be an activity triggered hypoglycemia. So it's giving interpretation aspect. So suppose you are holding a graph with these findings, what are the things in the graph you should do? You should be looking at a median curve. You should be looking at the percentile bands. Then what should you look? Where should you look? It's actually guiding, it's spoon feeding you on how to actually process the CGM data. And this all happened, as you saw it happened in less than 10 seconds in front of you. So it's giving you possible causes of 4 to 5 p.m. hypoglycemia. Medication related, what could be the trigger? Rapid acting insulin too close to the meal, right? It's showing clear-cut possibilities. It's giving medication-related aspects such as sulfonylurea triggered, and a glimepiride in morning has a kind of possible hypoglycemia at 5 p.m., right? Which we do see in a lot of our cases, even on CGM. So just a few scenarios like this. If the person is now, it's giving what are the targeted interventions. So if the person is on NPH, switching to a more better basal insulin is what it's recommending. It's even showing hypoglycemia. It's showing preferential shift on your oral agents. So imagine, friends, all in 10 seconds. So this is the power of NLP. This is the natural language processing technology on which a lot of training has undergone for this tool and a lot of outcomes it's being able to elicit here. So yes, and we've even asked it to go beyond further on giving the graphical interpretation, rather simulation. So if you are a professor, if you want to teach to your students, it also has ability to create 10 different scenarios like this, and then question your interns or your PG students on what are the understanding of the outcomes. Because friends, this is the giant leap where the technology is heading out. So this is yet another tool. Because of paucity of time, I may not be able to cover every tool, but then this is something on hypoglycemia unawareness, hypoglycemia awareness, all these insights. It has the ability to create a quick check guide using the gold score, which is for hypoglycemia awareness. So this is very interesting, a very practical one. Many of us are speakers at national, international conferences. Many of us get to moderate a session, and most importantly, many of us get to be even part of the organizing committee of the sessions. Well, the biggest challenge of panel discussion is sometimes the conversation goes off track. Sometimes it goes random, haywire, actually boring the audience to the core. How to address this? So this is one of our pioneering solution what we've built. I'm going to show a live demo. So let's assume you have been called up to a national conference where you are a moderator, right? And let's say the topic of that particular group session or panel discussion is decoding CGM in 2025, right? Now, what this tool has been trained is something very interesting. It has been trained on psychology of human interaction. How to channel the flow of questions in such a way that the answer of the first question is going to link the second question. The second question's possible answer is going to link the third question. And this all it is doing by its intelligence, NLP intelligence of psychology of human interaction. So now you see the first question it has raised is, 25, what are the significant advancements in sleep? So somebody, let's say, these are not physical people, actually, these are the fake characters it has created to answer it. Now the second question, because this question actually links to the possible answer of the first question, which actually builds the retention of the listener of an audience. Right? The listener component of the audience is getting addressed. It keeps the audience hooked. That first, second, third, everything is interlinked. So that linking or rather looping mechanism of human interaction, the NLP side of it is being fully explored in this particular tool. This is at a stage 3 testing right now. And very soon, all these solutions are going to be accessible to all of us through our platforms in the upcoming quarter, because many of them are undergoing beta process, some of them are undergoing validation process, some of them are undergoing beta testing, and so on and so forth. So you can see here how beautifully it is done. So in a matter of minutes, you are able to generate the right type of questions to create an engaging panel discussion. The answers will be at discretion of the speaker, but the question is where the whole matter of crux lies. Now, let me take you to another pioneering tool by Dr. Bharat Saboo. This is what we call as Mitra. He created this pilot project a year back. 1 year went in just training the tool. This is one of the first Indian tool which is Indianized fully in Indian languages. It has support of more than 96 languages right now as we speak. And this entire tool is a patient lifestyle improvement tool. It's an interaction-based tool to improve the patient education on diabetes and self-management, most importantly. So at this 85th sessions, we are privileged to be the entire team won Best Early Career Abstract of 2025 at ADA for this project, what we did, and many more in timeline. But because of time, I won't be able to showcase you everything. With live, we are building ASCVD risk score calculator for India, based on just like how AST is there, ASCVD is there. We are building Indianized Lipid Association of India risk calculator. This is yet another tool which Dr. Alok mentioned. This is again India first. We have actually been incubated by National Law University, and we are building India's first medical legal case simulation education tool, which is called Juris Medica. We have just completed phase 2 of the testing right now. We are soon entering into beta testing for this tool. It's a work of progress of last 6 months. So I'm just going to show you the live demo. So this tool is going to actually bridge the gap between a lawyer and a doctor. It's going to educate lawyers on the medical side of a legal issue, and it's going to educate doctors on the legal side of the medical problem, right? And it's going to integrate the both worlds together. So now, after integration of these tools, not only will we be more educated about the legal aspects, but it's also going to suggest a lot of preventive strategies to prevent the legal possible challenges around the medical practice. It's a pure education tool. It has actually been trained in such a way that it can create an MCQ-based testing based on multiple Indian medical law subjects. It can actually simulate a lot of medical legal cases, which is beneficial for both doctors as well as lawyers. It can actually play a role-playing scenario for a courtroom debate on medical ethics. It can actually generate a case study on telemedicine-related legal issues and even on patient confidentiality aspects. So this is the power of this tool, and another 7 different functions we have added in this tool. I'm just going to show you a brief here, maybe just a short snapshot of the tool here. Okay, there's some. There we go. So here, I'm just, as you can see here, I'm just asking the tool, I'm creating a scenario. This tool will be able to basically give educational information on any kind of legal possible scenario. Let's take a 56-year female patient who is getting operated for actually a surgery, which is on appendectomy, right? It's an elective surgery, but during the surgery, gallbladder is found to be fulminant, and there's an eminent duct obstruction which is there. And this actually changes identified due to gallbladder stones, which has been identified during the ongoing OT. Now here, obviously, the surgeon is going to be at a dilemma whether to remove it or not. Now, but with the good intent of preventing harm or major complication to the patient, the doctor is removing the gallbladder and to prevent this major complication. Now here, what are the legal consequences? So like this, you can actually ask it any kind of legal scenarios where possible dilemmas could be there on medical legal aspect. And you'll see how beautifully the tool is able to answer this. Right? It's actually giving legal consequences. It's giving the legal law. It's giving actually cases which have certain similar, identification. It is actually showing Supreme Court outcomes on so many different cases, and it is actually showing key takeaways also for doctors. Like how do you prevent such situations in future? What are the changes in the consent you should be working on? What are the documentation changes you could? So now I'm asking you to simulate a similar case, but not the same one. It's actually creating a different scenario. Now, if you do the same thing in Google, you will get a lot of hallucination. If you do this in ChatGPT, you will get a lot of hallucinations because these are all general information tools, whereas this tool is actually trained on both the sides of the healthcare as well as the law side, which gives it a hyper-focused approach to given outcomes which are specific to the specific cases. So like this, we've been trying to innovate. Yet another tool we have built, which is called Footfall Magnet. It is to enhance ethically the footfall to your care. Again, it is in a lot of different stages. So with this, I'm just closing some of the examples on where NLP is actually used in real-time scenarios and where things are getting built up. So now to address the real concerns, evidence-based answers, how do we rely? The concern one is, will it make errors? Now let's understand this. Human in the loop is the core aspect of designing or rather accepting or implementing anything. Critical findings are flagged by physician validation, and 95% of specificity achievement is the minimum cutoff for any of these tools. Is it too complex for our practical setting? Well, cloud-based voice dictation hardly requires meaningful infrastructure deployment with just a smartphone. So one of the tools which I showed you, Dr. Assist AI, has this ability. You just need to plug in a voice dictation where you just orate the summary. It will convert your voice-based data into a physical summary in a matter of seconds, not even minutes. And even before you see the patient, you have it ready, or rather, you can have this done by a junior doctor or probably a well-trained paramedical team if you have. So basically, all this is time-saving and more resource-driven. What about Indian accents and languages? Yes, Indian optimized voice models are accessible now, which have been trained on local languages and accents on medical terminals such as Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Marathi. Multiple languages are being accessible now. Is it too expensive? Not really. The kind of time you can save, the kind of throughput you can improve of your own quality of care to the patient is just amazing when you start implementing these tools. So if we look at the NLP versus traditional documentation methods, a simple differentiation, if I tell you a traditional method, what it would require 15 to 20 minutes, NLP enhanced approach for the same will be just 5 to 7 minutes. Data, there's no debate here. Any day NLP is going to have a better quality of enhancement because of the mathematical computational power these natural language processing technology has. Error rate, again, what has been there in 5 to 8% of human transcription is actually less than 1 to 3%. Again, because here human is in the loop. It's not fully automated. The human is there. And again, from the Western data and certain data in Japan and Southeast Asia, the human physician satisfaction post adoption of this technology is extremely high because you are improving your efficiency, you are improving the quality of care deliverance, you are improving your turnaround time of patient, which actually enhances your entire approach of treating patients. So common implementation pitfalls, see, everything is not blue and green. There will be certain pitfalls. So it's actually a technology first approach which focuses on clinical problems first, and then selection of the right technology is very important because everything is not going to fit for everyone. Inadequate training. Now, again, if it's given, unless it's given with a proper physician training around the technology, it's not going to really help. It's actually going to eat up more time if a physician or a paramedical team of physician is not trained properly. Workflow integration, if it's ignored for the tool, it's again not going to help. It's actually going to, rather than enhancing, it will disrupt the workflow of patient care. Yes, regional variations are there. Certain aspects of that also need to be taken into consideration. Ethical considerations, yes, privacy and security. As of now, there are multiple Indian laws which are getting developed as we speak right now. Certain modifications are happening in healthcare data protection and a lot of things as we speak right now. NMC, the medical legal bodies, they are working very actively on building new interface for all these future ready technologies. As of now, HIPAA compliance and the DPDP Act in India, these are the two cornerstones for most of these solutions which are being built upon, and new modifications. Disha Act, which has been there for quite some time, but it's not fully deployed yet. So that is also getting complete revamped right now with the AI scape changing completely. Bias and fairness, again, many of these models, if you rely entirely on their own database, they are mostly trained on Western database. So if you notice, most of the solutions we are building, we are basically Indianizing the solution because the data we are restricting it to the data we are training it upon. We're not letting it harness its own data because it will have biases of Western or Southeast Asian or maybe even Afro-American or African phenotype-based outcomes. To prevent that, most of the tools what we're building in India now are keeping in mind of Indianizing the data set first and then building it around. Transparency, very important because clinical clear documentation is very, and human oversight, this goes without saying. So again, this is a very foresighted, futuristic approach here. How to really start assessment, identifying the key use cases in your practice. For every doctor, it's going to be unique and different. Looking at a pilot for 2 to 3 months, and 3 to 6 months is where you expand. You get multiple integration with your EHR systems if you're using, and then obviously the advanced applications. So again, multiple case studies exist, but one of the very interesting case studies where just this voice to text NLP tool, what I explained a few minutes back, 68% of time was saved and it reduced documentation time for patient. So this was a hospital with a lot of documentation burden and footfall. 93% accuracy in extracting key clinical concepts from those digitalized notes. And most importantly, 4.2x conversion in ROI achieved within first year of implementation. So as I was mentioning, the turnaround time per patient supremely changes here when you adopt these kind of technologies. Medical specialties, cardiology, ECG analysis, heart failure risk prediction, neurodiabetology. I already showed a lot of solutions which we are building ourselves and which already exist. Some different types of solutions already exist. Neurology, we see seizure pattern identification, stroke symptom extraction, pediatrics developmental milestone tracking, vaccination compliance, emergency medicine, you see triage node prioritization, clinical critical finding alerts. All these things are there and change the way things are happening. So your words are your untapped data. AI is the field. NLP is a specialty within the field. Start small, think big, and most important, it's an asset and not a replacement. So with this, I end my session and would like to take up any further questions. Thank you so much.
Harsh, whatever you showed in your demo, are these the GPTs you have made in ChatGPT or there are separate apps only?
So half of them are custom SLLMs. which are standalone LLMs. These are open source LLMs, which have their own interface, custom interface. And the intelligence is what we can pick, whether we want OpenAI's intelligence, whether we want Claude's intelligence, or whether we want Gemini's intelligence, depending on the token tariffs of each of these, we can actually select it. So what we have done is we have done a hybrid model. For few of our solutions, we've used Claude as an intelligence source. For few of our solutions, we've used OpenAI's GPT engine as the intelligence source. For few of our solutions, we've used even Meta. So depending on the core strength of each of these algos, we've picked the specific.
So for everything, you have made a separate website.
Not website. These are currently at their standalone servers. I would not say website, but web page. Because once we complete the validation and the robust legal things which are required at backend, then we'll put it as a website and then we'll be gradually rolling out for the entire fraternity. That's the game plan.
For the audience here, this I think would go very high for people. Most of them don't even know how to use ChatGPT. So can you just explain a little bit about what is intelligence of Claude, what is intelligence of ChatGPT? And second thing, if you can explain to them, why are you not sticking to ChatGPT and Claude, which is accessible to everybody? Why do you need a custom LLM? And one more thing, I will ask you to tell people what is LLM in brief, because anyway, we are now moving for panel discussion. So this will be an interesting question since Neeraj has opened the topic. Can you just give a small 2-minute talks on what is LLM 1? What is custom LLM? What is this generic ChatGPT and this thing? And fourth, why do you want to move away from well-established ChatGPT and Claude and move to your own custom LLM in a separate server of your own?
Right. Perfect. So let me start with first, what is LLM in simple words? So we already had a nice initial session of Dr. Bharat, which was on LLM. A large language model is basically a type of machine learning, or rather a type of deep learning ability for an AI-based solution, which can perform variety of natural language processing. So natural language processing is the core aspect what we just heard for last 20 minutes from my session is what natural language processing is all about. But when this language processing capability is deployed as a physical solution, it becomes large language model. This model is something basically in simple words, it's a window of interaction with AI. Right? That window could be as a chat, it could be as an image, it could be as a video, any form of data exchange or data interaction which you make it with AI is basically a large language model to simplify it. That's what this is. Now, the second question which was raised, why so many different platforms and why not just stick to ChatGPT? A simple reason, because in the previous session also I briefly touched on multiple types of LLM. Every LLM has a very unique strength point. See, all LLMs are good right now, but there are certain aspects of each LLM which are extraordinary and exceptional. So ChatGPT is like an all-rounder. It's good at most of the things, but there are certain things which it's average at, right? So if I go with perplexity, as I had explained in my term, it is very good in creating citations of any information you're searching. Right? It gives a very evidence-based or rather resource tracking-based outcome to any inquiry or any search you're putting. Right? Claude, when it looks at data analysis, it's again very efficient because it has got a lot of compliance certifications with the others don't. Gemini is again a very good overall interaction bot. Why? Because just like ChatGPT also has a chat window, but if you want a humanized creative outcomes, as I briefly explained, let's say I'm coming to Mumbai. Let's take this weekend I'm coming to Mumbai for a conference. If I want to, my session is let's take from say 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Evening I want to enjoy Mumbai, but I've got only 4 hours. Then the Gemini has power to integrate Google Maps, Google Reviews, Google Search, as well as the actual things which are happening live in Mumbai in and around that Saturday to give me a nice, beautiful itinerary of the entire evening. It will help me. Suppose I'm in, let's say, Jew Convention Center. If I'm moving to Kolaba, what is my transit time on an average on a Saturday evening? ये सारा मुझे उसको कहना नहीं पड़ेगा, वो करके मुझे देगा. Why? Because Google is the most integrated AI system on this planet. Because of its Google Mail, Google Calendar, इतने सारे उसके verticals हैं, so it gives a more output for a human-to-human interaction वाले kind of needs which you want to tap through AI. Right?
I'll interrupt you over here. I'll interrupt you over here, and I want to tell the audience this is something which is very favorite of Harsh. So we are having this international conference on diabetes called DRS and Geo Convention Center this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where we both are faculty. So what Harsh has already done is he'll be landing in Mumbai. He's already told us Gemini. So that Gemini has already planned out which is the best roadside food stalls or what kind available where after you finish your conference. So it is planned out the whole itinerary with Google Maps and Gemini integrated, like he said. And we would be having a gala time. We don't have to choose as we walk. Tracking a GPS, it keeps telling you this is what is available, how far it is, what is best over there, what is the rating of what food item, what is what. You can choose, pick, walk, and as you walk, like a live assistant, it keeps evaluating and changing its menu card and its map and keeps telling Harsh and me what to do next. So that's the power of AI. Fantastic and beautiful. It's like a pocket, Times of India foodie in our pocket, and we keep moving live as we go. It modifies itself.
Absolutely.
What do you say? I mean, I just summarized it for you. Of course, it works. Of course, it works with Gemini. Does it work free with Gemini, or do you need a paid version?
It works.
Gemini.
It works with free version also. It works with free version as well. So absolutely it works. And second aspect is even for tourism, or even for, let's say you want to plan out your own appointment scheduling. It gives you trends of your own clinics. Like say if your clinic is on Google page, I'm sure you are seeing, right? 4 to 6 p.m. is a busy hour for OPD or something like this. There are a lot of Google analytics which come of your own Google page of your clinic or your hospital. It also has power to extract that information and give you certain insights where you can plan your OP timings better. Right? Say like there's a window of 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. when your OP is little light, then you can ask your team to schedule more appointments in that 2 or 3 hours. So all this is power of Gemini. So Gemini is very unique and individual kind of one. So like this, I think we can differentiate each of the tools. In fact, it's the AI is so dynamic that we can actually take 1 day session on each of the tools. It's that much deep and dynamic. And the last question,
not 1 day, 2 days. We run a three-day workshop. Yeah. We run a 3-day workshop. Yes. It's so huge. I think Neeraj runs a weekend workshop. I mean, he runs it in all exotic places and he covers in and out. If I'm not wrong, Neeraj, from Friday to Sunday, he keeps all orthos busy. So anyway, I'll intervene here because the next on the agenda is panel discussion, which we've already started. But for the sake of proprietary, let's come back to the MOC program committee chair, Dr. Navneet, who's supposed to take over and run the show because she's the puppet master here. I should not be. So back to you, Navneet, and feel free to intervene, interject, cut us, do what you want.
And wonderfully put forth by Sir. And we actually can do this for AMC also, sir. All these Gemini and other things for day-to-day, how to use AI in your day-to-day life. We can do actually one session on this.
Alok Modi, sir, then all meetings would have to be online. Then you can't have physical meetings if you do that. So you'll have to ask your president. Then everything will become online and AI enabled. So physical will come to a dead stop. So I think he'll kill me if I say this.
Over time, so this will happen. Yes. So continuing with our this workshop further, now it's time for panel discussion, and it's none other than Dr. Alok Modi. And he has told me, kindly don't introduce me because I don't need an introduction. So it is to Dr. Alok Modi, sir, to continue with the panel discussion.
Channel. So you made sure that the diplomatic channels are open. Anyway, I didn't want to be introduced for various other reasons, but that's not the point. The point here is we should focus on the the content of the session today rather than my introduction. So panel discussion has already started, and Dr. Navneet, I would love if you also participate. And Neeraj is
I am really sorry. I have to attend one patient. I had kept my OPD pending. I will just finish that and get back. Right. Okay, sir.
So what I will do is now I will throw the questions at both the panelists, and if you all permit, I can also answer some questions, and 3 of us are there. So very basic question, Neeraj, very basic question to you. Why do you think people in the medical professional, whether it's an ortho, physician, surgeon, or gynec, should, if not get expert like you, not get expert like Dr. Harsh, become a pro in these things, but at least have some basic knowledge and basic working of their mobiles, of their laptops, and of their AI solutions which are coming in tomorrow. What do you say, Neeraj? And just quick 2-liners. Why do you think it is so important? Why are you taking so much of pains to educate doctors and make them run behind technology? And like you are well known as a person who has technology in both his pockets. Why do you think this is required? Neeraj, are you there? I think Neeraj is also seeing patients. I think, Harsh, we are the only two people who are not seeing patients right now. Anyway, so Harsh, the question goes to you. Why do you think technology should be required for anybody?
Well, I think it translates back to the same era. We have made some very interesting transitions. The era when pages came in, we were so resistant. Why to hold these micro devices? STD PC had. Why should we, transition to a pager? Then, smartphones came in, or rather, the analog phones came in. Again, the same inertia was there. Why should we transition? Then came a transition of from analog phones to Android phones, or rather, a more advanced iPhone or iOS-based phones. Again, there was the same inertia. Kam chal raha hai, why to shift it? Headphone we have, phone mein, why to?
No, my question is this: all that is fine, Harsh. The point here is ki why should an average doctor who's doing well in his practice, who's making good money, he's seeing patients using a standard stethoscope, using like Dr. Gurudas Kulkarni sir is here. Sir, could you unmute yourself if you don't mind, and could you unmute your video if you don't mind? Like for example, he's there, he's seeing patients, he's putting a speculum in the nose, he's doing his surgeries, he's writing on pen and paper, he's very happy to see patients as things are going. Why should he get into AI business? Why should he get into digitalization? Why is it important, A, for tomorrow after 10 years? And B, does it actually matter for him when he's already well settled in his practice doing well? Gurudas sir, could I have you unmute yourself, please? Okay, Harsh, any answers for that?
Yeah. So I think what I was mentioning, once that inertia is taken care, what really happens is with adoption of this tech, what really happens is the efficiency and the quality of care is what really changes, and most importantly, the physician burnout, which many of us have been reporting over the last 2 to 3 years. It could be any form of burnout gets addressed beautifully because we've done some work. If you remember, we did a year back a paper we wrote on physician burnout. The kind of numbers we are seeing are very scary, because it's not the number of patients, or rather, there are so many factors which going on utilization of human intelligence versus when an augmentation happens with technology, a lot of offloading happens with that. So it's not just the stability of the work you're doing, but it's the quality and efficiency of work, which technology is changing greatly. I think that's what my perception is for that.
So, Gurudas sir, I can see Guru sir. Sir, could I disturb you and could I ask you to join the panel discussion? We won't disturb you with any AI questions, but sir, I just need some inputs from your own vast experience in your own life. Sir, as a senior and a very reputed, established ENT surgeon who's actually done phenomenally well so many years without any technology, with what we have learned in our MBBS days and MD days, and we have been managing patients so well. And of course, your instruments have been upgraded. You're doing a much better work in the OT and the way you're diagnosing with your scopes and all. At your age, sir, with your seniority, do you think AI is something that should be loaded over us? Do you find an advantage of being an AI-ized ENT surgeon for tomorrow? And second question is, at your age and at your seniority, do you think AI is something that you can accept? Would you be comfortable accepting AI slowly making inroads into your practice?
Accepting is a different thing. Means now at my age, it is very difficult to go through all those things. Though I know you will say the age is not the limit and anyone can learn. But now that particular capacity definitely comes down at our age. But we are happy with our whatever we are going with previous practice, and mainly communication, direct communication with the patients and all that, rather than, and still we are recording on paper rather than on the computer. That is the thing. But definitely,
suppose I tell you that
yeah.
Suppose I tell you that you don't have to write on paper, you can just talk with your patient and everything will get auto-recorded. And on your screen, diagnosis and treatment will start flashing, which will increase your efficiency. Then how would you feel, sir?
Definitely, it is helpful. Definitely helpful. Now, many, I think, in Ghana have started that particular process. Yeah.
And you don't have to learn anything about AI. You don't have to learn NLP or LLM or any such thing. It will be given to you. You just start working, and the kind of output, see, the kind of time you spend in writing in papers and doing procedures and reading up journals and books will be all delivered to you free of cost. I mean, free of cost means at a very easeful thing, without
Yes,
much ado from your side, and your level of performance goes up drastically high, the level of complications in a surgery goes down. So don't you think at your age you would be very comfortable doing that when you have to do all this without any technological jargon?
yes, right. You are absolutely right, Alok. Yes,
So,
I agree.
sir, using you as a bait, I'm trying to give that message to the audience that AI has no age. You don't have to get scared of learning AI. You don't have to be techno sound like Dr. Harsh is here. You don't have to be very dynamic like Dr. Harsh and Dr. Bharat Saboo is here. You can just get into the river and start, rowing your boat. You don't have to be a boatsman. Just enjoy the ride on the river. The AI river is there. Just hop into it, take a motorized boat and enjoy the sightseeing. And believe me, you'll do much better than running besides the river to reach your destination. If I
Yeah,
could give
sure,
that
sure.
analogy,
Yes, Alok.
it is as
Yeah,
simple as that. And the purpose of keeping these talks in AMC is to educate everybody that AI is there tomorrow. It is going to be there, whether you like it or not. It is going to be there. It is eventually legally going to replace doctors who are not trained in AI. College certificates and exams are coming up, degrees are coming up, and they will be in place tomorrow by the authorities. So it's time we realize the future and we change ourselves for the future. The bottom line is it is nothing to be scared of. It is something very fruitful, very intuitive, very easy, very child's play. That inertia jo hai na, I always say that if I like a girl and I want to marry her, I keep getting scared, कि वो मुझे reject तो नहीं कर देगी. But you never approach that girl. So if you have not approached that girl, how do you know whether she'll reject? So I'll break the mold here. I like to get humorous in between. I'll tell all of you a very sweet, simple story. And you've seen any serials on any channel. There is a disclaimer that comes that the views expressed in this serial is not necessarily the view of the channel. So the story that I'm going to tell all of you is not necessarily my life story. So please don't fall into that. So the story is very simple. So this guy met a girl. He fell in love with this girl in a college, and he actually wanted to get married to her, but he was very scared. He was very shy and introvert. Harsh, you're married, so I hope you'll understand this. So, guy was very happy. He approached that girl multiple times, but because of his inhibitions, he could not go and express his feelings to the girl. So one fine day, that girl was anyway hardly talking to him because she was moving in a different circle altogether, and he was having his natural inhibitions. So that girl came to him once and said, "Ki I would like to copy some notes from you. You're the most brilliant person in the class, and I always wanted to have your notes so that I can educate myself better. And I was scared of asking you because I thought you may not appreciate. But then, if you don't mind, can you share your book with me so that I can borrow it for a few days?" And he said, "Fine." He gave the book to her and he put a rose inside that book. That was the least he could do. He just put a rose inside that book and gave it to her. And it was a red rose. So after 5 days, she just came nonchalantly, gave the book and said, "Thank you very much. Here is your book back." And he felt so dejected and hurt. He has put in a rose and she didn't even bother to respond. And he thought, maybe she didn't like my proposal or she has not understood or what. He didn't do anything about it. He just put the book on his shelf, got old, and when he was about to die, he got arthritis. He clutched and he fell down near the bookcase, and that book fell down. He hit the bookcase and the book fell down. When he opened the book, he remembered his past memories, saw that the rose was very much there. It had become like a वो जो जाली होती है ना, जैसे कि हम पहले कॉलेजेस में लीफ रखते थे वैसा. So the rose was there and a letter came down. And he wrote that letter. He read that letter and he was shocked that she had written, actually, even I have been in love with you for a long time. I was also scared of proposing to you.
Yeah, I heard this
I did
story.
not know how to approach you. The moment you read the letter, please call me up and I would like to take this further. And he repented for the rest of his life, why didn't I approach her and why didn't I open the book? He was so dejected, he never bothered to open the book. So what I'm trying to say here is, try to get into AI. We are shit scared. It is very bad. It is very tough. It is very difficult. Just get into ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT, teach me ChatGPT. Believe me, I teach a lot of people. Let ChatGPT teach you and tell ChatGPT, I don't know anything about you. Please tell me. Believe me, you will educate yourself better. Maybe next year in EMC, you will be running the show rather than me, and I'll be sitting in the audience. Maybe, sir, you all will do much better than me. It is not impossible. That is the power of AI. It is so intuitive, so lovely, so much like your spouse, whether you're a girl or a boy. It binds you and takes you to the nth level. And believe me, we spend a lot of time enjoying our AI workshops of our own, in our own bedroom, in our own drawing room, in our own clinic, with our own laptop. So I think that will be the only thing I'll say. So coming back to you, Neeraj, are you there, kya? Or have you walked off also
Thanks
to
a lot.
operate on a
Thanks a lot.
patient? So, I mean,
Thanks a
first of
lot,
all,
Ajit.
no, sir,
I
sir,
say
you're
thanks.
always. I'm very grateful to you, sir. Guru sir is a person who has gotten me to AMC, so I'm always very grateful to him. We are both in Thane, and sir is like a teacher and a mentor to me right from many years. And the first time I met him was in his car when I'd come with a little problem with my ear, and he took me in his car and gave a nice lecture on what wax, how it should be removed, and I've not forgotten it. It was such a wonderful time I had with you, sir. So thanks a lot for doing a lot of mentoring for me.
Thanks a lot.
So I would like to tell you about AI mentoring, which is also not difficult. But back to the panel discussion. So Harsh, I just want you to be very basic and tell people that if they want to understand what is AI, okay, let me ask you this question. So we have ChatGPT, we have Gemini, we have Claude, right? And I know you're a big fan of Claude. I'm a fan of ChatGPT. And there are certain people who vouch for Perplexity. And right now I'm going on Vayo and I'm going on Manus and I find them pretty good also. And uh, the Chinese one, the speed one, I forgot. What was that? Speed test or something? I forgot.
DeepSeek.
Yeah, that was something horrible. I didn't like it. A lot of people like it anyway. So bottom line is key with all this. What is the problem? The bottom line of the question is why we can't use these generic LLMs to. First of all, what do you mean by generic LLM? In short, two lines. What is a generic LLM versus a specific LLM? And second thing is key. Suppose I use ChatGPT to diagnose my patient's diseases and give the prescription. Why not? What is the problem there? Why should I not use it? This, and then I'll ask some more basic questions.
So I think this is a brilliant question because this is a doubt which a lot of us have. Why pay extra for a specialized solution versus an existing generic solution? The crux of all this lies in the training of that solution. Now, when you look at a generic solution, let's say generic ChatGPT or generic Claude or anything, it is trained on general data, which by and large has a Western data bias inbuilt, or rather Southeast Asian data bias inbuilt, because our own national data generation as a country is very less. Not absent, but very less. So when you rely on just that general data trained tool or solution, you're going to get general answers and maybe some hallucinations or some fake answers also. But when you look at an SLLM, which is a specialized LLM or a customized LLM, what really happens is this particular LLM has a different training database. It's been trained on specific set of information. It has been caged. उसपे जाली बांध दी गई है वो AI टूल के अराउंड की यहाँ से बाहर आपको इंफॉर्मेशन ढूंढ के नहीं डालनी. The only thing which it holds the intelligence power which has been created over the years from different trainings it has received. But the source of information and the output is caged around the information it has been trained upon. So this is what a custom or a specialized or an SLLM is. So if you want a specific need to be addressed for a specific person, as you rightly said, diagnosing something and creating a prescription, an LLM or a tool or a chatbot which has been trained on ethical medical information data is going to be 100 times more reliable than a general ChatGPT or a general chatbot. So this is where the difference comes in, and this is where the hyper-personalization comes. Yeah.
Okay. Second thing I want to ask you is very simple. See, I'm asking very basic questions because I want the audience to understand, because I don't want to go into too much of technology. Basic question is, now suppose I want to find out what are the differential diagnosis of a headache, right? What are the causes of a headache which is occurring near the eye, between the eyes and going behind till my back of my head, and it is a throbbing headache, right? So I have this problem. So I go to Google and do a Google search and I get certain answers. And I go to ChatGPT and ask this answer, right? So why should I go to ChatGPT or an AI when I'm getting at least 20 answers on Google? What is the difference between an AI intelligence? We are talking of intelligence versus a Google search, which has also got a repository of a lot of information. Quick, Harsh, we don't have much time.
Yes,
Otherwise,
yes.
I will have to cancel my talk. A quick this thing. What is the difference between a Google search and a
Right.
ChatGPT or an AI? Remember
AI.
one thing I want to tell the audience, using an AI is not equivalent to doing a AI search. So if you
Yes.
write this scenario in ChatGPT, it is not going to give you a search and give you an answer. Please understand
Right.
that. So with that in understanding, Harsh, if you can just tell in 2 to 3 lines, what is the
Right.
difference?
Simple answer. When you put as a Google search, you just get an information. It's unstructured. Whereas the same information, if you search in an AI engine like a ChatGPT or a Perplexities, you get it in a formatted way, number one. Number two, so it's if you take Perplexity, you get citation of that information. So you actually know that suppose say let's take occipital headache guy DD hai, so it's extracted from which place. Number three, what happens is with that output, what you have got, you can interact with that data in such a way that it can give you beautiful graphs, beautiful visual output, which a simple Google search cannot give you. So these are the three pointers. I think you can add more. Yeah, please add.
I'll add a very simple analogy to that. See, I think doctors are here, so they'll understand their language.
Yes.
So suppose, Harsh, you are the head of the unit or head of the department, and you've got 4 or 5 post-MD trained doctors under you. And I'm one of the patients. So you're discussing causes of headache. So I'll say, "Arey, usme doctor sahab, badi baat kya hai? These are the 20 causes of headache that I know." So you say, "ठीक है," and you say, I would even say, मेल पेशेंट है तो क्या हुआ, he could have periods, suppose उसको periods आया, क्यों नहीं आ सकता? I mean, I'm being extreme, but suppose a guy says that, uninitiated non-medical guy says कि उसमें क्या हुआ, रात को सोया नहीं तो भी हेडेक आ जाता है. So I feel, sir, आपका ये जो पेशेंट है ना, ये रात को सोता नहीं है, इसके लिए इसको हेडेक आता है, how your patients talk. Whereas those trained 5 MDs under you will use their intelligence and the same level of knowledge with this person has read multiple books and Google has come to you and say, no, this is not because of lack of sleep. This is because of hypoglycemia. Though he is not a diabetic, he is a pre-diabetic, but this is occurring because of hypoglycemia. So why this headache has got differentiated? Because they have the same knowledge that this non-qualified person has versus the medical people have. But the difference is that because they're using an intelligent brain, which has been trained on a lot of literature, evidence-based medicine is what we practice. They have been trained on a lot of data and evidence, and they come to an answer which is logically and scientifically correct, whereas a non-medical person will not give a right answer. So Google search is nothing like going to a library and picking up anything and coming to any conclusion, whereas an AI is supposed to be intelligent and it answers questions which are supposed to be right. Now, why it is intelligent is because it has been trained on various models, scenarios, which it picks up. So just as a MD or an MBBS undergoes training over 6 to 9 to 10 years, like if you do your MD, so 6 plus 3, 9 years you undergo training and you're told that a jaundice with itching means this, a jaundice without itching means this, unconjugated hyperbilirubinemia means this is the diagnosis, conjugated hyperbilirubinemia would mean different kind of diagnosis. This understanding through intelligence and training that you give is what AI is all about. So I want to tell everybody why you should use AI, because AI is like having a RMO in your pocket. It's like having a medical officer in your pocket. It's like having a houseman in your pocket. On the other hand, it is like having a head of department in your pocket. Whereas you could be the houseman. It probably does a much better job than you do. And there are many examples to that. Now, with that understanding, Harsh, suppose I use ChatGPT to make a diagnosis versus I use an AI solution. I use an AI solution which has been trained on medical literature. So do you think a generic, it's called as a generic AI. If I use a generic AI like ChatGPT or Claude, do you think I will get a more reliable answer versus a ChatGPT which has been trained on? I know you've answered that question. I just want to refine it. Versus a ChatGPT which has been trained on some last 500 years of 50,000 journals. And we'll seek answers only from there. Use its logic. Just yes or no. You think the second scenario is more reliable or the first scenario?
Absolutely right, sir. As you said, second scenario is more reliable because of the training quality. It's been trained.
Okay. So with that understanding, so what you have done with Juris Medica, or what we have done is, we have taken all the Supreme Court, High Court decisions, patient scenarios, and we have trained those models, Juris Medica, on that. So the answers it will give will be relevant to Indian Penal Code and be updated regularly so that we get the most relevant answers and not something through our hat. So that is what I mean by modeling. So a lot of people are asking,
Recording in progress.
So I'm back. Sorry for you guys. Bad luck for everybody. I've come back. So I just answered that question. I don't know when I disappeared. So what I meant is training the model means you give it the authentic learning material and you let that intelligence, which is nothing but algorithms, learn from those materials and get. I'm not going to too many technical things like what is liquid LLM, what is neural networks and all. I'm not covering those. That we'll cover in the future talks of our AI talks. But that is what is very important, that your output should be right बिकॉज यू आर ट्रेनिंग इट इन द राइट। वो जिसको हम बोलते हैं ना, मैं इसको बोलता हूँ संस्कार देना। हम बच्चों को अच्छे संस्कार देंगे तो वो अच्छे सिटीजन बनेंगे। आप एआई को अच्छी नॉलेज दोगे तो वो अच्छा बनेगा, नहीं तो वो जेनेरिक एआई बनेगा। यू नो, लाइक you get the idea. I guess everybody gets what I'm trying to say. So the next question to you, Harsh, is we have trained your Juris Medica, right? We have created a wonderful Juris Medica. Do you think it is ready to be accepted by the judges of Supreme Court in real life? Do you think it is ready to be accepted by the doctors who are sitting in today's AMC panel in real life? So if you want to give them that assurance, how do you make sure that this product is accurate and reliable? Does it have to pass, like, you know, we have to clear our qualifying exams before the government gives us a license to practice and treat patients. So tomorrow, even if there is a death under our treatment, we are not penalized for it because we are cleared the exam and we are qualified. So that exam and that license, the criteria for getting the license and exams is very much required. Otherwise, just going to a medical college for 6 years does not entitle you to see patients out on the road, outside your teachers, correct? So what are you doing with these models? Or what is the procedure to be followed with AI models before they can be launched by the authorities like FDA and all, so that each doctor or each legal personality can use it in real life? What is that called in technical terms, and in 2 lines, how do you do it?
So beautifully quoted this question actually. So that's the sole reason why it takes so much time to build something in AI. Because building it is the easiest part. The most difficult part is the validation process. And just like how we have multiple trials for a drug to come into a market, same way, just like how we have RCT, phase 1, phase 2 trial, phase 3 trial, then real world analysis trial, same way in AI tool also, we have multiple levels of testing. We have got, first we start with beta testing. Then after beta testing, we have phase 1 testing, phase 2 testing, phase 3 testing. Then we, after these 10 testings, we do a validation study. After this validation study, we do a protocol refinement study. After protocol refinement study, we actually end up using, we end up floating to first, let's say first 500 users. We get a user feedback outcome analysis. After all this long process of the thing, the product is ready to be launched into the market. When it comes to the acceptance from professionals, I think after such a level of robust, analysis and outcome-based outcomes, what we are able to project and predict with the tools, it again can be used for educational purpose, specifically when it comes to this specific tool, because there is a clear-cut demarcation between an education tool and a clinical decision support. So a decision support tool is generally based on differentials and the based on those differentials, which are more based on prediction-based, data set. But when it comes to such education tools, they are more resource-backed. So it is always tied to the reference point of a resource rather than a prediction. So this is the way to differentiate out the 2 types of tools, education versus prediction kind of tools. So every tool has its own unique space, and to our understanding, there's a very rapid adoption of education-based tools in AI in our country, which is going in a very good direction. Not just in our healthcare field, but even in fields like sports, even in fields like entertainment. There are fields which are such unique, like journalism. They are also starting to adopt AI in a very different way, and in a more progressive way rather than in a derogatory way. So these are
so one last question. One last question is what are the licensing authorities which licensify AI and gives the doctors and the companies which make those AI permissible for use legally in the market? So very important question. What are the authorities in the US? Just give me quick 1 to 3 word answers. Let's not elaborate. We are running short of time.
HIPAA compliance is one of the base compliance which is normally accepted in West and even in most of the Asian settings.
Do you think US FDA plays a role here, like a drug for drugs?
It does for physical devices, yes, but for software as a solution, it is still at a very gray area. It's still at a debatable space because FDA has still not laid out clear-cut demarcations for that. Second thing is population demographics. For a US population, the acceptance norms are different. For a global population, the norms are slightly different. So the simple answer is this, what I just shared.
What about India? Do we have any licensing authority in India? What is in short, very quick, because it's a big topic.
DPTP.
But as of now, do we have any input from the government of India telling you that this product can be licensed? Yes or no?
So ICMR 2023 guidelines on AI, that's one. Second is telehealthcare guidelines, which is again in 2020, which had come, and the DPTP Act of 2023. These are the 3 acts combinedly are currently regulating the aspects. But as you said, there is a major revamp which is happening around in the legal system to have more healthcare digital technology, AI specific protocol being laid out. I think in another, let's say, a year or so.
We do not have any clear-cut sound legal status in India. Absolutely, so the question is, we are bombarded with a lot of advertisements like this is AI-enabled glucometer, this is AI-enabled stethoscope, this is AI-enabled machine, which is being floated by various tech companies. So my very basic question to you is, should doctors start using them legally and freely and reliably, or are they not legally approved yet? Yes, no.
Caution. Go with caution. That's my only say.
Okay, very diplomatic answer. Thank you. So I think we'll stop here. It's already 5:20. My talk has got cancelled because we do not have much time now. We have a limit on the Zoom meeting. So I'll probably take it next time. But then I'm happy that the other speakers did such a fantastic job. I'm very grateful to Dr. Bharat Saboo. I'm very grateful to Dr. Harsh. I'm very grateful to Dr. Neeraj for doing such a fantastic job. And of course, the gratefulness to the President, Dr. Rajeev, and Secretary, Dr. Prashant. And I cannot forget the help that and the enormous thanks, enormous help that was given by Gurudas Kulkarni sir, Dr. Ajit Desai sir, and Dr. Khambay sir, who have taken the pains to be there and spend the afternoon to do such a wonderful job today. So back to you, Navneet, our MOC, and she deserves a standing ovation and a round of applause for being there for every meeting tirelessly and doing such a phenomenal job of taking care of everybody in such a wonderful manner. So Navneet, back to you. I mean, I know you're hip hopping between an AI and a live patient and a so-called live AI. So back to you.
Thank you.
Take
Thank
the
you
call.
so much. I was supposed to say all this, and thank you, Alok Modi sir, for organizing such a beautiful AI workshop. And the first session was excellent. Second was even better, and we are looking forward to many more like this. And thank you to the audience.
You know what the best session was? The best session was that I didn't take any session. I was quiet. That was the best part.
No, sir. Actually, we are missing on that. But yes, we are, because of the paucity of time, we will definitely take it next time. And I think we'll start with your session next time. So thank you so much. And thank you.